Hello, hello, hello. Hello.
There's only going to be, you want me to put them for the four counselors and give? There's
How many? Or in the park?
Let's put them here for now. Let's see.
I need to make sure everyone you did is important. 11, because of course I gave one.
Okay, yeah, I think this should be. I will definitely share the love from it.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
It's on your speaker.
These are all just pretty today, but you always are anyway, so we're good. Thank you. Oh. Yay. Who's youngest? You were stressing. Got here early. Don't worry about nada. It's joining, I hope. Yeah. He's trying. Oh. 898 8911.
Hold on, I've got.
You know.
Want the video on.
And 475-224. Joy.
You want,
Hello, senor. Again.
I wanted the, so that way the picture comes out. Let's see, but I guess this one isn't doing the picture. Because computer audio is just gonna be just the sound. It's not gonna show the face. That's why we.
And
never
it's
see the
not
face.
from there that we have to do it,
No,
but it's not even allowing you.
computer, see. See where, oh, I know.
And this we want muted because this is where they talk, right? And they can hear me. Oh my gosh, yes. This one's way louder than mine is.
Video.
What?
It should pop up. That's where we go to.
Oh, maybe because that other one's not on, you think?
No, we're already on there.
But I mean, not the video part. You know, how it shows the council.
Yeah, maybe.
I see you.
You see me? Front or back?
Front.
Okay, then it's fine. So is it's good right there though? I don't need to move it?
Some are here, so.
Helping out. Oh, well,
I know you're busy. If you could just, while talking to do your thing.
okay,
Um. So we changed the date.
not the 16th? You said 16.
Okay, that one.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not. something.
Yeah, no, I told her today.
Okay.
I saw it today and I moved to her and she said it'll be on the public issues for the 16th.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all gonna come back? You can come join us.
For years. We'll probably get her when she's 90, from 90 to 100, from 90 to 100.
Oh.
Is yours or just? I gave.
Peggy. Here's the flyer. No, it's the third. It's the November 3rd. Guess what they call it that. Yeah. Just. It's not hard, it's just. Yeah, and just, I mean. It's
And then you went there to like present.
Oh, so that, if,
On
yeah,
the
we,
recording part, okay. And that's whatever's on the next.
yeah, it's not hard at all, I mean, basically.
Just knowing where to.
You know. Yeah.
You don't need. You want me to say that?
So I mean, once everything's put together, just to start it, you'll log in. Hold on, let me- Yeah. Debbie. Log into Zoom and just start your meeting. There's, this will pop up, and right here on more, you just go live on, YouTube. There.
From more, okay, okay, so off of,
Yeah, so like, okay,
off
Zoom
of
start.
Zoom, then that takes me to meetings.
Yeah, off of Zoom, you go to more and
Okay.
live on YouTube, but here just pause the recording because we start really just to make sure everything is working.
Yes.
And then just pause your recording, mute.
We'll get someone who should need it.
Give them all we got.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us at the regular meeting of the Espanola City Council for Tuesday, October 20. Okay. The time 6:06, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us this evening at our meeting. This is our last meeting for the month of October. We're so grateful to have you all in attendance this evening. Would you all please join in Pledge of Allegiance this evening?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for coming upon us, enlighten us to do your will in this community, Lord. Allow us to be instruments of your peace and to always remember and to trust in you and your will in this community. In your heavenly name, amen. Thank you to everyone joining us this evening, members of the governing body. We have some here in person and we have some in Zoom land. Ms. Garcia, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Peggy Sue Martinez.
Honored to be with you all.
Councilors Dennis Tim Salazar,
Present.
Nanette D. Rodriguez,
Present.
Aaron J. Salazar,
Present.
Manuel J. Martinez,
Present.
I heard him. Is he's there?
yes.
Let Counselor Manny Martinez, can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you guys fine.
Justin Salazar Torres,
Present.
Denise D. Benavides,
Present.
Dorothy D. Valdez,
Is she online?
no. We have a quorum.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, members of the governing body. Tonight you have the agenda before you for this evening. I am recommending the removal of the consent agenda items. There's inadvertently, the month of October's minutes obviously are not done because we're still in the month of October. This was for September, minor clerical error. But for that main purpose, we cannot entertain discussion or action on this evening.
Motion to approve omitting item
Aye.
5.
Second.
Motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Peggy Sue Martinez, second by Councilor Dennis Tim Salazar. Is there any further discussion? If there's no objection, we're going to approve the agenda as presented with the amendment. Well, if there's no debate, we can just call for move for an acclamation. Next, public comments. Public comments is limited to 2 minutes this evening, and you have to sign in with the clerk. Ms. Garcia, would you please?
First up would be Bridget Lindquist. Bethany Bratley,
Evening.
I just wanted to thank you guys for putting Espanola Humane tonight and honoring the work, the amazing work they do. I brought Princess Spicy Poo tonight. She actually was found on the side of the road with eye infection so bad that her eyes were matted and they had to shave down her eyes. Her eyes are ulcerated and she was barely 2 pounds and she was pretty spicy. Apparently she was trying to bite everybody. I was asked to foster and I didn't think twice, and this is her now, of course. She finally got the all clear, but this is just another representative of what Espanola Humane does. I'm sure you've seen the amazing prison program. One of the people who is a big person who started that is actually here tonight, Maddie. That program is so amazing for prisoners to help them, you know, when you're in there, you're all alone. What better thing than to train a dog and have a chance to help make a difference in a dog's life and make them adoptable. I want to, you can thank Bridget, she can raise her hand. You can thank her for bringing me actually here to Espanola, New Mexico. Bridget is one of the people who actually recruited me to move from Chicago, Illinois. That is why Espanola Humane means so much to me. And again, I can't thank you guys enough for giving them the honor and acknowledging the hard work that they do for this community. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bethany. Garen Fulgenzi. That would be it, Mayor.
All right, thank you for everyone that participated in public comment this evening. Business with visitors, it's our good friends at the Espanola Hospital Auxiliary regarding the Hollyberry Fair. Mr. Greg Franz, Cheryl, Elizabeth, come on up.
Would you please come up so I can introduce you all? I hope you all can hear me. My name is Greg Ferran, and I am the president of the Espanola Hospital Auxiliary. I'm also on the board of directors for the hospital, and here today you have two former presidents of the New Mexico Hospital Association. So I will start with my friend Cheryl. Cheryl, would you raise your hand? Cheryl Wise Trujillo. Cheryl works at the information desk at the hospital, and she is also our publicity chair. And then we have Dolores here at the end. And Dolores is our treasurer and also works at the gift shop. And for those of you who would like to volunteer, need volunteer. I've already tried recruiting Joanne. Our director of adult volunteers is Elizabeth Sanchez. She's right here. Elizabeth also works in the scholarships, and I'll explain that a little bit further. And Elizabeth also works with advanced care, and she works as a substitute at the gift shop, and she does X, Y, and Z. One of the things that I'd like to start out by saying is that the hospital auxiliary was started in 1965. So we are in our 68th year of existence. And this year we helped celebrate the hospital's 75th anniversary. It's one of the other things we did. I want to let everybody know that the Espanola Hospital, Presbyterian Espanola Hospital, is always one of the top 5 hospitals in the state, and it is the jewel in the crown of the Presbyterian healthcare system. Our mission is to provide those ancillary services and support services that help with the hospital's functioning. So we run a gift shop, we do the information desk, we do a lot of services that help support the hospital. And what we do is save the hospital a lot of time by providing those services for free. So we save the stakeholders in the community lots of money. So besides providing the ancillary services, we also provide scholarships. And those scholarships are mainly provided for local young people, or it could be anybody of any age, that are pursuing the medical fields. That doesn't have to be medicine. It could be radiology. It could be areas like that. And it's Elizabeth Sanchez that runs that program almost exclusively. So I'd like to thank her. And besides that, we also provide equipment to the hospital. So when you go into the hospital, one of the first things that you see off to your left-hand side are the wheelchairs. We provided them all. Now there's probably about 20 of them. You think that that's not a big expense? Take a guess. They're $1,600 plus per wheelchair. Very, very excited. You are the first group for me to announce to you that as of Thursday last week, we had the hospital administrator, Brenda Romero, approve a special project. And then the board members on Friday voted to approve this project, and I'm going to make a brief description. And it is a track that is along the ceiling. It comes down on a cable and has a harness. And that harness is for people like amputees like myself to help them get on their feet so they can become ambulatory. And so any of you who have had people who have had hip or knee surgery and are afraid and do not have confidence, this cable will support them so that they don't have any fear of falling. So people who are overweight, people who are weak or in poor health are supported. And that will be suspended over and parallel bars so that they can be supported. And that was just funded on Friday. That's what your auxiliary does for you. Besides that, we raise money. Thank you. Thank you. I don't mean to ignore you. You guys are big wigs too.
I just want to make sure, Greg, that they're picking you up because we're on Kedicen. So YouTube and Kedicen too. So I mean, if you're not getting picked up there, they're just hearing white noise.
Oh, okay, so it's good that okay. Got it. Then let's see, where was I? I was talking about other things that we do. One of the things that you're going to see a lot is that we're always doing fundraisers for the hospital. And our most recent fundraiser has been in existence since 1965. A lot of you know it as the Holly Berry Fair. And the Holly Berry Fair is, we take up the whole lobby. And the lobby is filled with fresh baked goods, silent auction items. And we're also going to have a drawing for a lot of the prizes, which are Southwest themed. And we're going to have an arts and crafts table, and then we'll be selling plants. So please drop by. That date is November the 3rd from 8 to 12, and the drawing is at 12. And please join us. Why I'm here is I was asked to bring our $1 tickets to the Holly Berry. This will entitle you for a chance to win one of our drawing prizes. So if I was asked if we would set up after the meeting, and we'll be there if you guys want to buy a couple of tickets from us. I would sincerely appreciate any purchase. This helps support the hospitals in the ways that I previously explained. And at this, need not be present to win. If there's, yes, please.
Okay, if you look on Facebook, I've created Espanola Hospital Auxiliary Group and also Espanola, New Mexico, NM, capital N, capital M, Hospital Auxiliary. So we post everything that we do, like we have lobby sales and all, we post that in there. So if you got Facebook, please look us up and you'll be able to find out what we do. Also, Greg, we have this poster that we did, that we took to our state convention this year. And if you want to stop by and look at it, it's just a little bit of everything that the auxiliary does do.
I want to thank Cheryl because one of the things that I forgot is Dolores helps coordinate the lobby sales. So you're going to find artists coming from all different areas, people selling sheets, scrubs, you name it, books. We recently hosted Friends of the Library. So we have those coming, and Dolores has been generous enough to spend her time coordinating that effort. Was there anything that I forgot? Okay, I would like to thank the Honorable Mayor and the esteemed counselors, the city manager, my buddy over there, the city clerk, for the opportunity to present to you. And if there, do you have another comment?
Yes. Basically, what I'd like to say is the money that we provide for our own students, it's a win-win because we're sending our kids to school and we give them scholarships. The last 5 years, when I started as treasurer, we have awarded $60,000 to students in our area. Right now, we are taking care of 4 students, a pharmacist, a PA, and 2 nurses. And yes, they do get money from the state, but that money is not enough. They still need gas, they still need food. They, the college is expensive. If they choose to go out of state, which some of them do, we're looking at $30,000 a semester, not a year, a semester. So it's a win-win for us. We gotta get behind our students, we gotta get behind our values. We don't do that.
And just to add to that, the premise behind that is that hopefully in the long run, we keep our young people educated and here and serving at our hospital. We have a lot of other services, so when you come in to volunteer, I mentioned just a couple of them. We do have a person that comes in and helps with low-income people to help feed them. So they'll get groceries. And then Liz does the advanced care project, and that project is so that people who are in hospice, people who need their legal documents during the end days, like a power of attorney, for medical decisions, for a will, Liz helps coordinate that.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Dolores. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Greg. Counselor Justin Salazar Torres had comment.
Thank you, Mayor. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
All righty. I just want to say that I'm forever grateful for this group. My daughter was a recipient of this wonderful scholarship. It's helped her tremendously. I encourage this governing body and those in the listening audience to purchase some of these raffle tickets from them, and they can match what I get. Thank you.
Well, so fine, 5 weeks.
And he bought two.
Can top him.
All righty. Anything, Counselor Annette Rodriguez.
Just want to say thank you for the incredible work that you do, and for working with the youth in our community and providing them that resource. I also want to say that you have one essential advocate in Mrs. Sanchez. Her daughter attends Las Cumbres, and so I know her personally. She is an incredible worker, an incredible advocate for people with IDD and those that need services. So thank you for everything that you do. I don't know when you're going to retire, but thank you for volunteering and carrying it on. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Peggy Sue Martinez.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilor Rodriguez. Also want to appreciate Mrs. Sanchez. Also like to ask Greg, could you talk a little bit about how many other volunteers you have that are helping currently with your projects?
One of the reasons why part of my spiel was we need auxilians. Thank you, Peggy. Thank you, Sue. We have prior to COVID, 108 volunteers working in almost every aspect of the hospital. Post-COVID, we're up to about 50 now. And we just had a new person join today. So in order to supply and support the hospital's services, we really need to be at full capacity. It's one of the reasons why we're here presenting tonight.
Thank you.
So much.
Absolutely. And thank you to all 50 and even to the 108 from before. Hopefully, when COVID slows down more, they'll return to the hospital also. Thank you guys for what you do.
I'd like to state that Debbie's mother has been a volunteer. She's my dear Dora. So, she was a sweetheart and she was a volunteer for many years. I'd like to get her back. So, come on in, come there. Hillary, we're a family.
You know, one of the things is I think everybody recognizes the hard work that the hospital auxiliary does for our community, the Pink Ladies, and going back all these years for 50, 60 years that the auxiliary has existed. It's been incorporated of individuals that have been passionate about our community and a lot of the movers and shakers of our community. And it's great to see it's still going after all these years, and thankful to the dedication and commitment that the ladies, the Pink Ladies as they called, and Greg, you were one of the first male members, right? Yeah, because there's Jake's on there too. Paul Frescas, that's right. Well, anyway, the great opportunity that they do for our community, because the hospital represents Espanol, obviously. And so hospitals get visitors from all over the place. And so you have these wonderful individuals guiding people and selling our community. And I always have believed that what you're doing out there is representing our community. And you guys also are very successful at your statewide auxiliary as well. I know you've received awards in the past for coming. You were president of the state auxiliary, weren't you, Greg? Oh, wow. C2 from Española.
Yeah.
And that's just a commitment to our valley and the people of this community. So really thankful for all the work you do. We look forward to the Hollyberry Fair. We'll probably get you on coffee break with one of our city times, and you can promote the Hollyberry Fair. That we'll get a time together before. So thank you. Yeah, Mayor Pro Tem.
Just wanted to touch base on the gift shop at the hospital and all the little things that are available there too. That's a really, really awesome little place to find a little gift or something like that. So if you're ever on this side of town and you're looking for something, you don't want to have to go all the way to the other side of town, that's always an option. So stop in there. That's a really nice little shop.
We have auxilians that actually make birdhouses. We're very we make birdhouses in the process. We have local auxilians that make those.
I had gone in there and seen little fairy houses, and one of the women there said that she was the creator of those fairy houses. They were all very, very different and all lit up. There was something to behold. Really cool. Thank you guys again.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any comment? No.
I
Oh,
want to buy books and tickets, but I do not have my purse with me. So I will go to the gift shop and see them.
great. Thank you. Moving on, counselor comments. Righty. Mayor Pro Tem Peggy Sue Martinez.
First, thank you to Streets. I've seen you guys everywhere in the last 2 weeks. Thank you for everything you do. You guys are killing it. I really appreciate the patchwork, especially that on East Pueblo. And everywhere you guys are at, the staff that you have seems to really be enjoying their work and really working hard. And that comes from the leadership and from good policies to work under. So thank you for everything that you're doing with that. I really appreciate that. We have the Puloween party. Nanette, do you want to talk about that a little bit? Or you want me to? Yeah. That's October 27th from 4 to 7 p.m. Children can participate in a pumpkin float where kids can swim and pick a pumpkin in the pool. You can decorate it after. Children the following ages may participate: 2 to 6, 7 to 9, and 10 to 12. Bring your own swimsuits. And it's also free. There's going to be a carnival, games, and much more. There's also a Northern Career Expo on November 8th at Northern Mexico College. City of Espanola is a sponsor of this event. Workforce Development is also a sponsor, as is Northern College. Meet with hiring managers, bring your resume, dress professionally, and be prepared to interview on that day. That is again at Northern on November 8th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. There is also beginners pickleball at Lucero Center on Tuesday and Thursday from 9:30 to 11:30, and you can
attend that class with your entry into Lucero Center with your day pass of $3. Pickleball is something that has recently gained a lot of interest from a lot of people, myself included. It's a lot of fun. So anybody that's interested in that class, it's on Tuesday and Thursday from 9:30 to 11:30. And that's all I got.
Councilor Nanette Rodriguez.
Nothing to report. She reported it all, so thank you. It's okay.
I'll will matters from there. All right, thank you, councilors. Moving on matters from the mayor. I just want to invite all the council to continue attending Red Ribbon Week activities. Today, they had a presentation at James Rodriguez Elementary, affectionately known as Espinal Elementary. We're at Hernandez Elementary this afternoon. Tomorrow morning, they'll be at Sombrio Elementary. In the afternoon, they'll be at Eutimio Tim Salazar Elementary School, and then at Alcalde Elementary School. And we want to thank Municipal Court for all the hard work they've done to put this together. It was great. Mayor Pro Tem Peggy Sue Martinez, Councilor Aaron Salazar, Councilor Nanette Rodriguez, Chief Garcia, Chief Johnny Martinez, and Miss Debbie Garcia, our city clerk. We were all there today at James Rodriguez, and affectionately, we were there because that was our old stomping grounds. We were all Redbirds, and so it was really cool to be back there. And I think the kids really enjoyed that aspect. Tomorrow, Councilor Dennis Tim Salazar will be joining us at ETS Elementary for the school affectionately named after his father. And so that'll be another great opportunity. City Manager Eric Lujan will be there as well. And I plan to be there, and you're all invited to attend. If there's going to be more than 2 or 3 of you, please let us know so we can do a notice of quorum. But we haven't had a notice of quorum yet so far needed for that. But I just am grateful for Municipal Court. The kids had a great time today, all the wonderful activities that Municipal Court put together, and for all the people that donated bikes. There was so many grateful children throughout our valley. If you have access to Facebook, check out our Facebook page. There's some wonderful pictures and the kids are having fun. The judges out there dancing. I got really tired, but I was dancing too. But just a testament that it's a great opportunity, and to always remind the children of our valley that we need to be drug free. And this is a valley that suffered so long with drug addiction and such that we need to be positive and be uplifting and provide avenues. And ultimately, we also talked about public safety and knowing emergencies and knowing when to report things. And so I think the youth of our community resonated that very well, and it meant a lot to them. So. I want to also indicate too, I want to thank the manager, and Sally had done it right before she ended. Every second meeting of the regular meeting of the month from here on out, we'll be having director reports, which you will hear later on this evening. And all the directors will be attending the second city council of the meeting of the month to stand for any questioning from the council and such. I understand not everyone's on the same committees, and that's why we're going to have directors attending every second regular meeting of the month from here on out. So thank you to all the directors for attending this evening. Want to just reiterate about what Mayor Pro Tem Peggy Sue Martinez. I'm really grateful for field operations for all the work they've been doing, the paving. We're in kind of like a really rush mode right now because it's important to get all our potholes and such fixed before we go into the winter stage, because we can't get below 60 degrees. I think it is, Elijah. Oh, 40. Oh, wow. Okay. So we can go. Okay. We'll make it to November then. We got some more roads. So I just want to thank them for all their hard work they've been doing and all the activities at the Lucero Center. They've been resonating. I've been hearing a lot of comments and positive attributes. So thank you. It's a testament to our staff. Moving on,
Emma and the staff from City Hall that attended today to make the festivities at
yes.
Elementary happen. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of people that always show up and always help no matter where we're at. We appreciate the help that you're giving us, Emma, today. Also the staff from the police department, the secretaries that were there. There was also the 911 people were there. We haven't mentioned them. And that's sort of one of those things that 911 operators are the silent heroes, you know, they do their work every day quietly and we take them totally for granted that they're going to answer our 911 call. And they were there today representing what they do for our community as far as public safety and Red Ribbon. So we appreciate them in every way and everything that they're doing for Espanola and the safety of our constituents. Thank you, Mayor.
I also we've left out someone that was really helpful today, and she actually now is in her second week of here joining us. And that's Miss Esperanza Trujillo, our executive administrator here at the city, executive administrator to the mayor and the city manager. She's hit the ground running with our social media constituent liaison. She's been really working, advocating for our community and getting phones answered and getting concerns and issues resolved in a good manner. So I'm really encouraging the council to continue utilizing Ms. Trujillo to ensure that when you have a constituent issue, concern, it gets followed through her office and she ensures that it gets completed with the department director. So welcome aboard, Esperanza. This is her first city council meeting joining us here. Right. Without further ado, we're going to recognize a special someone here at the city of Espanola that's retiring after 19 years of service to the city, and that's Ms. Macrina Montoya. I've had the opportunity to know Macrina since I started first volunteering here at the city back in 2009. Macrina has worked in community services. I remember when she worked in the bond house up there for Buzz Garcia, admin assistant, and then she came over here to City Hall and she was a receptionist here at the front. And someone was joking today, so back before they remodeled City Hall, they used to have the desk right in the front and everyone else was behind the glass counter. And for the longest time, poor Macrina, someone was irate. She had to be right there front and center. She was in the front line of duty. Then they finally moved Macrina about three years ago into the round chamber room behind the glass chamber, but she always had her smiley, cheery attitude always. And that's one of the things about Macrina is she is the front line of the city of Espanola. She's the one who takes your calls. You call City Hall and that's Macrina Montoya answering the phone for the last, I'd say, how long have you been doing that job, Macrina? 14 years. The city of Espanola has had Macrina be opening our door and greeting the people of our community, and always get a great response from the community about Macrina's cheery attitude. And she's just a blessing to have. We're going to miss her so much. I've known Macrina a long time, and we were talking today, we have a lot of longtime employees here at the city of Espanola. And one of the things is, in the market, in the job market, we have high turnover too. But Macrina, thank you for your commitment to the city of Espanola for the last 19 years. So Macrina, I wanted to have us all, the governing body would like to recognize you. Macrina, in recognition of Macrina Montoya for your dedicated service and commitment to the city of Espanola, beginning on August 5th, 2002 to October 27th, 2023, your contributions have made a lasting impact on our community. We extend our heartfelt thanks and best wishes for a fulfilling retirement. Come on, hey, come on here. We're fine.
You say esteem.
Thank you, Macrina. Mayor Pro Tem Peggy Sue Martinez.
I just want to recognize Macrina myself for the wonderful person that she is. Anytime I ever came into City Hall, you know, she always greets you professionally with a smile. You leave, there's always have a good day. You know, 19 years of work at the city of Espanola doesn't seem like it takes that long to do, but 19 years here is a long time. Because you go through different administrators, you go through different visions, you go through different things when you work in a city environment. And adjustments can be difficult. So having a job here for 19 years is very special. I also want to recognize her for being a single mommy and raising her children. And what a great job you did there. So thank you so much.
Counselor Dennis Tim Salazar.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I think Macrina's been for the city about as long as I've been here, but Macrina's taught me everything I know with the city. So thank you, Macrina. Also, you know, just Macrina's hard work, dedication, day in and day out. I think we're all very thankful for that, for, you know, these many years. And Macrina, just thank you for everything you've done for the city, for the employees, for the constituents of the city, and you will be greatly missed. And I hope you really enjoy that retirement. Thank you.
Counselor Nanette Rodriguez.
Macrina, I echo everything that the rest of the counselors said. You and I worked together when I worked for the city of Espanola, and you're still here. That's incredible. Thank you for your dedication, and for always, as Mayor Pro Tem said, having that, and the mayor also said, having that smile and being that person that greets the community when they come into City Hall. It takes a lot to have that dedication and being here day in and day out. I don't think you ever missed much that I could tell. Yep. So thank you again. Enjoy your retirement. It's well deserved.
Counselor Aaron Salazar.
Thank you, Macrina, for everything you have done. You know, every time I walk in here, of course, I didn't get to meet you personally much, but you always had that smile, a welcome, a friendly welcome. I just appreciate everything that you have done for the city, all the service that you did, and enjoy your retirement. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Counselor Manny Martinez.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Macrina, I've known you for many years, actually longer than the 19 years you've been at the city, but it's I can't believe time has gone so by so fast. 19 years, wow. Congratulations. I hope you have a lot of great big plans now that you're going to be retired so that you can enjoy. And again, thank you for your service and all that you've done for the city. I know that a lot of people are going to miss you because you become a staple to the city when you walk in. You're the person everyone sees. So I just want to say thank you, and enjoy your retirement, ma'am.
Counselor Justin Salazar Torres.
Thank you, Mayor. Talk about a pillar at City Hall. Ms. Macrina, thank you for your service. We appreciate you, and God bless you on your retirement.
Thank you, Macrina, for all your years of service to our city. We're grateful. It'll truly be different not hearing your voice on the other side of the phone, and I'm sure the constituents will hear that, will notice that too. Moving on this evening, recognition of the Espanola Animal Shelter this evening. Thank you to our friends from the Espanola Valley Humane Society for being here this evening. Espanola Humane has been a staple to this community for 31 years. They've helped save so many animals over that time. Sick, injured, and healthy have been cared for on a daily basis by the amazing and caring staff. This year alone, they have an estimated intake of 5,000 by year's end. There is two sides to the shelter. the shelter side that has done almost 5,000 intake exams, 1,000 plus vaccines, blood work, heartworm tests, and much more. Then clinic side that does anywhere up to 40 plus spay neuter, 4 days a week for the community and the people of Riverview County and southern and northern Santa Fe County. 7,000 free spay neuters, 7,000 microchips, 9,500 vaccines, 350 to 400 extra surgical procedures, such as amputation, soft tissue, and emergency surgery, and 2,500 vaccines from the vaccine clinics. They also have an outside community program called Pet Amigos that goes out to the community to help. With 56 employees at the shelter who work tirelessly day in and day out to care for this pet of this community, they deserve the recognition for all the hard work that they do. Shelter work is one of the hardest fields, as the things that they have to see and help with is emotionally exhausting and difficult, and there is the amazing feeling when those animals are better and get adopted to their loving family. We as a community cannot thank you, Espanola Valley Humane Society, enough for what you do.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bridget. Hello, larger listening audience. I've been the director at Espanola Humane, I think, for about 17 or 18 years. So I'm right behind my esteemed friend in retirement. Let me first say that we've had this partnership for 31 years and are tremendously proud of being able to work with the city. Life at Espanola Humane is long. In any given day, aside from 45 free spay-neuter surgeries, we likely receive 30 animals before lunchtime. And many of us are on the crew that has to work on holidays, right? Including Thanksgiving, because of course the animals don't take the day off. The real credit goes to the leadership team against the wall. Not only are they incredibly supportive of, they're a group of hardworking people who care very much about each other and are fiercely, unconditionally in love with animals. So thank you for the honor, and thank you for us allowing us to serve this community.
Mayor Pro Tem Peggy Sue Martinez.
Thank you, Bridget. Could you introduce who's in house and
Sure.
have them stand to be?
Cassandra at the far end is in charge of our Pet Amigos program. Lisa's the director of the animal shelter. Maddie next door to her is in charge of all social media and our voice online. And Murad is the newest addition to the family. He works for all community events.
I'd also like to thank Ben, who works with you guys. He's a great asset to the shelter and everything that he does. And I want to make sure and mention him. Also would like for you to mention any needs that the shelter has that the public might be able to help with. We touched base a little bit about towels and things like that. Anything like that off the top of your head that you
We always need towels and more pet carriers. Is there anything else that's pressing right this second? We could use money.
Money?
Yeah. I'd be remiss in, volunteers. You know, if you have time during your day to come and walk dogs or to help socialize cats, that would be a real blessing for our team. It expands our capacity for care. If you can't make it to the shelter, think about taking an animal home and giving him or her a break from sheltering. Even if it's just a long weekend, I can't tell you what a difference it makes to their emotional well-being to have that escape before we adopt them out.
Awesome. Just want to say thank you again on behalf of the city of Espanola, the constituents and the greater Espanola area. I know for a fact that you're one of those entities within our community that deals with the 10,000 people that are in our community and the 70,000 plus that are outside and around us that are all utilizing your shelter to handle their animals. I personally vaccinate there and take my animals there and try to do whatever I can to support you guys. I'm extremely grateful for the services you give the city of Espanola. I'm hopeful that the partnerships and the communication that we've recently redeveloped will continue to grow and the trust will continue to build as we move forward. I feel like you guys are one of the most important entities that partner with the city of Espanola, and the things that you do for our community are of great wealth to this community and to the animals of this community. And because of you, we have healthy animals and we're very grateful.
Very kind. Thank you.
Counselor Nanette Rodriguez.
So I just want to say thank you. I am a animal lover, and I have quite a few rescues in my family. I do want to volunteer, so I will be going down to see you. And I just want to mention Bethany. She is one of the biggest advocates for the Humane Society.
Yes,
We have a great advocate in Bethany.
yes.
So thank you all for what you do. It's really important, and you have to have a really special heart to work with animals
Yes.
and to see the condition of animals that come in. I'm sure it's heartbreaking. So thank you for what you do.
I just want to thank the Humane Society for all the work that they do. And the manager was going down today, went to the animal shelter and was talking about the facility. And so it's kind of interesting to reminisce because I recognize former Councillor Peter Valdez that's in the audience. Councillor Peter Valdez was on the city council when they broke ground on the original animal shelter back in 1984. And it's an aging building, and the city for a while actually operated the animal shelter for about 1 or 2 years. And then they worked with the contractor, the Humane Society, to come and operate for the city on the city's behalf. And that's been a great partnership for several decades for our community. And so we're grateful for that and the impact that you play. And again, like we talked about, you don't service just the city of Espanola. And I think everyone here in this room understands Espanola is always referred to as a valley. And so thank you for the wonderful contributions you do for Southern Rio Grande County and Northern Santa Fe County.
Please proudly wear your Espanola Humane hats around. Yeah.
So
They're
what's
trending.
What's the 1992?
That's the year we were founded as a nonprofit,
Okay.
and we began operating the shelter the following year.
I think that's the year Nanette graduated. Right?
Right. Thank you. All right, city manager report. Again, I want to thank all the directors for coming this evening. I want to thank Mr. Lujan. Since he started here at the city, it's been weekly. I'm really glad right before Sally left when Sally took office as interim manager, we started having director meetings every two weeks here at the city, but Mr. Lujan has gone forward and had it now every week. And I think that's really important for the communication here at the city and structure and continuity here. So, Mr. Lujan.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, councilors. I just want to discuss first off, a couple of shout outs. I hope you guys like your new seat chairs up here. As I noticed things were falling apart, so I ordered new chairs and I want to in the committee room, but I want to thank Anna Hall. She was very instrumental in getting it done and expediting it. So Anna, wherever you are, thank you. And the staff, Jeff Sargent's staff, Jerome and company for coming and assembling them and getting them ready for tonight's meeting. And can we thank you guys? Mayor, I've implemented a couple of new deals with my staff, with my directors and their employees. As I've always emphasized with them and with everyone else, including the meeting I had today with the union and HR, is our employees are the backbone of this community. They're what make us shine. They're what make your constituents happy and make my job a lot easier. I've implemented a new a program where we honor or we recognize a crew or an employee of the week, every week. This is the first time I've done it this week. So my roads crew, their entire crew, I've selected them this week to be my crew of the week. Elijah Mares and his crew, Daniel Fresquez and company. I'll be taking them to lunch, I think, Thursday. What do you got me for Esperanza? Thursday. So it's you know, I Elijah is the first person in my office every morning, and she already knows the kind of coffee I like. So Elijah, and then you'll be giving a report here shortly, but you know what? I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for all my crews, for all my directors, and everything you guys do day in and day out. And so again, thank you and recognizing them this week, Mayor. The second thing I've implemented is obviously with you, my bosses, walking your districts with you. Counselor Justin Salazar Torres, I believe, will be first on Friday. Thank you, Counselor. And I think if we can meet over in Ranchitos Park. That's been an issue that has been brewing and in the hopper for a long time. So despite what any potential candidates for public office have been thinking, that's been on my radar since I started, and we're moving forward with that. And it's a big idea. I met with the chief of police. I met with Jeremy Smith. I met with Jeff Sargent, with Elijah to move this project forward. And then of course, it all has to do with our projects coordinator, Mr. Rob Apolaka, who I meet with Thursday to push this through and get the money that's already been appropriated and putting it to work. And that's already been in the hopper, Mayor. And another shout out that I do not want to forget about while it's fresh on my memory, of course, Mayor, is to the Espanola Valley High School Sun Devil football team and congratulating them on their district championship. And they're bringing back the pride to the Valley. So, you know, congratulations to the Sun Devils, and let's all get behind them and support them as they start the state playoffs, and let's go Sun Devils. Well, I was a Sun Devil for a couple of years, but that was Arizona State. So I know they probably hate my horsemen, but whatever. So Mayor, someone just hit the ground running on her second week starting yesterday, and she has been so amazing. I think you can appreciate, I think the chairman of the finance committee could appreciate it. And to all those that haven't met her, that have met her through the press, that have met her through coming to City Hall, or my directors or the council members, but Miss April Moya, who is our new finance director. And she'll outline her report here soon. I'll always save the best for last, so she'll go last as I start my directors with their reports to the governing body. It's been an interesting month for me. It's been great. It's been great. I want to tell mayor, councilors, it's been great, and I'm loving my job. And the backbone from the community, the backbone of my directors are making it great. It's I can see it's getting better, Mayor. Everything is improving, and we're putting things in places. And I want to tell the community that Sally Baxter, our HR director, is going to be holding job fairs at the community college, and we have jobs open here in Espanola. So come join us, and you know it's going to be a rapid hire. So please come apply, come work for the city of Espanola. And so I'm going to start off in alphabetical order. I'll start with Chief Wick in the fire department.
I'll see right away. Thank you, Sim. Thank you, Mayor, councilors, Mayor Pro Tem, city manager. Thank you for having me. So sorry, I'm not in uniform. I was down in Berlin today for the 4th baby box that was installed in the state of New Mexico in Berlin. today, so great news down there for Berlin. And it's awesome being part of that community and family. They recognize Espanola every time. There's cameras there, there's news agencies from Albuquerque there, 3 or 4. And they always bring up Espanola and us being the first one to install the baby box. So awesome, you know, that's always. So and I also went down to Socorro. We have 2 firefighters, our cadets in firefighter 1 and 2 down there. And so they're actually doing their burns today, flammable liquids. So that was really cool to be down there and watch them do training. We have Pablo Montoya, our fire marshal. He's actually down there as well. It's a 2-week course. This is their 2nd week. So he's down there training to be an instructor. So he's once he's certified, and after this class, he'll be certified to teach that class. So I think there's one other class that he has to attend. It's a 3-day class on safety. So once we do get our burn building, he'll be able to teach classes there. We need to send a few more because it takes more than just one instructor, but we will have an in-house instructor, which will be awesome. So this month has been extremely busy. Not only did we run a ton of calls, over 200 calls this month, we had one day that we had 24 calls in less than 24 hours, which is just crazy, the amount of calls that we're running these days. We're still short-staffed. We have 3 firefighters that are uncertified. 2 are in Socorro now, so we're hoping at the end of this month they'll be certified. And then the next one, he passed his hazmat about a week ago, so we plan on sending him to fire 1 and 2 at the end of the year. So we're hoping to be fully staffed and fully certified by the end of the year, January. But we do really need to push for 3 more firefighters because the call volume and just the amount of calls that we're going, these guys are tired and burnt out. We just need more staffing to help with that. So besides us being extremely busy, we've been working with the judge for Red Ribbon Week. So we've been going to all the schools. Sparky's been there with us. The firefighters have been there with us. Just an awesome month, awesome week, and all the schools, watching all the little kids have fun and, you know, talk about prevention and just be in the schools and participating in that. So that continues through the end of the month for Red Ribbon, or the end of the week, actually. This is also fire prevention month. So we've been doing fire prevention. We were at the Lowe's Home Improvement for our Fire Prevention Day. It's our annual event. This, I believe, the 4th or 5th year that we've done it. We team up with CareFlight, Lowe's Home Improvement, the surrounding agencies, La Masia, Okayawinge, Santa Clara. They come out and we just have a touch a truck. The kids can come out and look at the trucks. We give out free smoke detectors. I believe we gave out 40 smoke detectors, a couple fire extinguishers. Lowe's had some little wooden fire trucks that the kids could put together, coloring books, hats. It's just a fun event for the day for the kids and for the family. So that was this Saturday. We went to Santa Fe for Fire Prevention Day in Santa Fe, and that was Santa Fe City, that was Santa Fe County, Taos. They had a bunch of agencies there for a day at the park that they had. And so that was cool for us to go down there and represent the city of Espanola and Santa Fe. So that continues through the end of the month, or fire prevention. It's also breast cancer awareness month. So we've been selling our shirts. We started off with 500 shirts. We've pretty much sold out. I think we have a few mediums and larges left. They did order 100 more. So hopefully we get some more in and we'll get the people that don't have shirts. But I believe they raised $7,000 so far. They still have to pay for the shirts out of that, but that money goes back to the community, to anybody that's suffering with cancer, any kind of cancer. So reach out to us if you are, so we can put you on the list for donations. Awesome news from the State Fire Marshal's office. We did get the grant for the $300,000 that Chief Martinez had worked along with Pablo Montoya and myself and the entire staff. But Johnny really did work hard on that grant along with Pablo Montoya for a new fire truck. So that's 300,000 that's coming from the state fire marshal's office to us to purchase a new fire truck. So that's awesome news to go along with our brand new fire station and our training facility that's coming pretty soon. So they also had a softball tournament and they raised, I believe, $3,000 or $4,000 for the union. And that money goes back to the community as well. I know that they bought a bunch of bikes for Red Ribbon Week and they've been giving out bikes. And then they just give out money throughout the year to people that are in need. So that was a huge success. And I believe this is the 4th year that we've done the softball tournament. And we usually play 1 or 2 games, lose, and we're out. But this year we actually came in second and we lost by 1 point. So it was awesome. It was cool to have all the firefighters out there that day and participating and playing and just having fun. So I stand for questions. Thank you for having me.
Questions from the members of the government?
I don't have any questions, just comments. You know, I was out at the firefighter day at Lowe's and they handed out over 30 smoke detectors were handed out to families that are still in need of one of those. That's really awesome. Those are save lives every day. So we're really grateful for that. They had a t-shirt sale that day also, and just the way that the guys hustle and interact with different community members. It's really awesome to see the energy that you guys have. You guys never let me down. I mean, you guys are amazing in everything that you're doing. That 300,000 on that fire marshal's office grant that you guys just went to, that was less than a month ago. I think it's really important for us to start an RFP process on that truck right now. Like start thinking about what you want on it. Make sure you go through the procurement office. Let's get the ball running in the right direction so we're not CESing and going crazy at the last minute, trying to figure out a way to order this thing. Let's do it right and put it out for RFP, see who comes with what truck. I know you guys use a specific kind of truck, but let's just do that correctly according to all state procurement laws. And thank you, Mayor, for your leadership on that. I know that it's something that you're very committed to, and I want to recognize you for that because, you know, when things have been done a certain way, it's hard to change. It's hard for the staff because they become accustomed to certain things. And when we can't do things the way that we used to do them, it's sort of difficult. But I thank you, Mr. Wickersham, for everything that you do for our community. You're an amazing source of energy and amazing passion for your department and for the community and everything that you do. Everywhere I go, there you are. And you're just doing amazing work for us, and just continue with this ordering of this truck, continue with the training center, continue to get as many of the staff that you have trained to be the trainers so that when this training center goes up and wow, we'll never, ever, ever have to go down to Socorro ever again. We'll be prepared to do our own training here, and all the hours that our staff needs here will be provided by us here in our own community. And not only that, it will provide that training to anybody in this area that is interested in that training. And like I said, thank you guys for everything that you're doing. You're just amazing. The department today was at Red Ribbon campaign at Esplanade Elementary. Their energy is unmatchable. I mean, they're just, besides Counselor Salazar's ability to do the boogie dance today, they were amazing. I mean, it was just really, really fun to hang out with them as always, Saturday and today. So just thank you guys for everything that you're doing, John.
I just want to also say the 9th, I believe, is the the ribbon cutting.
Sorry, I forgot to say that. Yes, the grand opening for Wise La Jolla Fire Station will be on Thursday, November 9th at 11 a.m. The governor will be unable to join us, but thanks to Mr. Lujan's very good personal friendship with Lieutenant Governor Howie Morales, he will be joining us. And we're planning a big celebration with food, possibly lowriders, mariachis, music, and all kinds of activities for the community. Yeah, the food. Yeah, for sure. The food. Yeah. That's why everyone wants to go. Yeah. Thank you, Wick, for bringing that up.
Thank you.
Did you?
Chief Martinez is on Zoom now, if he wants to make any comments to what Chief Wick just said, if Chief Martinez wants to add anything, or if he's on Zoom.
Did you guys get that invitation for Victory Faith Church this weekend? They're having a breakfast for first responders. Okay, all right. Just want to make sure that the PD and the fire department, I don't know specifics, but I don't know. I saw Pastor JD. I saw him today at the post office and he told me to make sure that we go. Yes. 9 o'clock, I think. Okay, all right. Just coordinate, please, and ensure that we get some people there because they were really hoping to have some people from the men's group at Victory Faith. Lujan?
Okay, next is Chief Garcia. Espanola PD. Do you have him dancing today, Mayor, too?
Yeah, he was out there dancing.
Police officers don't dance.
The marshal.
Thank you. Thank you very much, City Manager, Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Governing Body, City Manager. I'm going to make this kind of quick. I'm going to give you just the facts real quick. Highlights, we'll talk about an arrest, and then we'll talk about something that's going to be a little bit different and more unique than we usually do. For the month of September, we only had 1,506 calls. Of those calls, 304 were traffic stops, which thanks to receiving the new software that we received for our cars, we were able to give more citations. We had 124 welfare checks, 72 shoplifting calls. A concern that I have is that we've had 48 accidents. We average between 45 and 54 accidents a month. So we need to be better on that. Animal control calls were a little low this month, 72. And another surprise that I had is that we had 8 suicidal subject calls. So usually when I go through my reports, I'll look for things that to me are concerning and that we should kind of look into why we're having that. So we've been looking at that. The only significant thing, the most significant thing that we've done in the last week is this past Friday, we worked with the New Mexico State Police SWAT team, with the New Mexico Police EOD team, and we also worked with our federal agencies. We hit 3 warrants. 2 of them were in our city. At one location, there were 12 people to include 1 child, resulted in 8 arrests. 5 were for warrants. 1 subject was arrested for child abuse. 1 was arrested for drugs and child abuse, and 1 was selected for felon in possession. That arrest was a result of that subject having access in his room to 6 sticks of dynamite, 4 weapons, 2 of which were automatic weapons. And it does sound like Channel 13 and Channel 7 are going to be bringing that up in the news within the next few days. So they usually will hear, again, because of the agencies. Our federal agencies are going to be adopting that case. So that's going to go federal. We arrested him for felon in possession. The only thing I want to talk about, and it's a little different, when I first came here, I promised that I would have a dialogue with our community, and I am on this. And I was called by a couple of citizens, and I want to address that. First, what I want to say is today we interviewed 3 certified officers. As you all know, in the city of Espanola, we are fighting for certified officers. Espanola, State Police, Rio Arriba, and our 2 tribal entities. We interviewed 3, and it looks like we are going to hire all 3. They are going to be starting by November 1st. So what that'll leave me at will be at approximately, I'll be at 26 officers, 22 of which will be certified and 4 uncertified, which kind of leads me into my second part. I had a concerned citizen called me about uncertified officers. I'm one to always highlight what we do well in the police department, but I've been doing this 30 years, and I'm also going to look at the deficiencies. And this was a deficiency that falls solely on me. And I'm going to tell you why. I came from Albuquerque, where we didn't have uncertified. There's only 4 departments in the entire state of New Mexico, I believe, that don't hire uncertifieds. Everyone else hires uncertifieds. So I did a poor job explaining that, which falls under our New Mexico State Statute 2976, which is under qualifications for certification. Until I came to Espanola, I didn't realize there was any such thing as uncertified, and I had to learn. So what we have to do in our city is we have the option under this statute of following 9 criteria where we hire officers for a period of up to a year that they can serve as police officers. But within that year, there's 9 things that they have to complete. Now, they go through a strenuous mental health evaluation. They go through physical evaluations. They can't have, we look at their backgrounds. We do a pretty extensive background. My Lieutenant Yazi, he is unbelievable at what he finds. So we do that. So our backgrounds are pretty extensive. They have to have a driver's license. They have to be citizens. They have to have high school diplomas. And there's other criteria. Now, one of the criteria that we have is something that I wanted to talk about, that if at the end of the 12-month period, for some reason, they cannot go to the law enforcement academy. And remember, the law enforcement academy only occurs twice a year, once in January and once in June. So when we hire somebody, it's usually in between those 2 academies, and we try. For instance, the 4 uncertified that I currently have, we are doing everything we can to send them to the January law enforcement academy class. But we do have officers that are decommissioned. I have one that's going to be coming up that due to injury isn't going to be able to attend the academy, but guess what? His time is up. So if he wants to go to the academy, he's going to have to apply directly to the academy and start day 1, which is the way I did it in Albuquerque. So I think it's on me, and I should have been better, but it's not something unique to Espanola. That's unique to our entire state. And we don't just hire anybody off the street. They go through a strenuous training program with the department. I have training officers for 4 to 6 months. We don't just give them a gun, a badge, and a car, because guess what? The liability is on me. And I know what liability is. And every night I have to deal with it. So I understand. And the city has liability. And probably the biggest thing is the safety of our community. I'm not going to give a gun to somebody and a badge to somebody that shouldn't have it. And that falls on me. And I appreciate the trust put in on me by the governing body, by the honorable mayor and city manager that trust me to make those decisions, because those are my decisions. So I'm doing my best now to make sure that, and you all know, I give my number on the radio. People call me night and day, and I should be called out. I don't mind that. When I came here, I want to. So that falls on me for not being more effective in explaining to our community how the uncertified officer works. Last thing I want to say is I had another person call me and say, your Facebook, and I could say this because it's not bad, but it sucks. It's gone down. It has. And I'm going to be better. And the reason being is the person I had doing the Facebook. And you know what I learned? I have about 8,000 people that follow our Facebook. So it's on me to be better, and we are going to be better. But it's not only highlighting what's good. I have to accept the deficiencies, and I'm okay with that. So anybody that wants to call me and ask a question about the Espanola Police Department, please call me. I'll explain to you the best I can. But I can tell you that we've been really busy lately. Our narcotics team has been unbelievable. Our canine team has been working. And you know what? We're going to continue to be doing that. So I could tell you about cars we're going to buy, about equipment, but I think it's more important that we talk about the human element and how it affects our community. With that being said, I stand before you for any questions.
Tim.
I'll make it quick. I just want to say thank you to Chief. I know that police departments are very difficult to keep staffed, especially in a culture where City of Santa Fe is offering more money, Pojoaque is offering more money. It's always a battle against Los Alamos and against other agencies. I know that you're doing your best to keep us fully staffed as much as possible, and that effort needs to continue around the clock 24/7 for the rest of eternity for us to keep officers here in this community. I also want to recognize Mr. Yahtzee. I had an opportunity to visit with him today at Espanola Elementary. I think he's a great asset to this community, and I think he's an awesome person to have in the leadership role in that department. I want to just thank you, Chief Garcia, for the bus that you guys have had recently and for the pickups that you guys have had concerning the warrants that have been served. I realize how dangerous it is when you're going out after a major felon like that, with not knowing what to expect when you get there. And I know it's hard on the department to get out there and do that job correctly. We're grateful when nobody gets hurt and we bring people in and they're arrested on outstanding or whatever else we can get them on. Takes dangerous people off of the streets of the city of Espanola. So thank you and your staff for everything that you're doing. You're doing amazing work and continue your good job. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mayor, thank you, Chief Garcia. Chief Garcia has sat with me on 2 interview panels. The the panel that selected Ms. Moya and a panel most recently for our IT director. Next will be Jeremy Smith, Community Service.
Honorable Mayor, councilors, thank you for having me here this evening. And I believe you have my report in the agenda packet. I'll hit a few of the highlights. First off, Senior Center, back in September, they did take a group to the state fair. So that was the first outing, I think, since probably 2019. So that was very exciting for a lot of the seniors that got to go there and the staff that took them. Yvonne has also reopened the Arts and Crafts Center, which is the smaller room towards the back of the senior center. So they're doing crafts in there at least 3 times a week. So that's a pretty exciting. Clean that out and using that part of the facility. Mills numbers and revenue seems to be holding steady. And the October there was a cakewalk and then also a Halloween costume and dance party last week. So definitely increasing a lot of the activities that are happening at the senior center. So that's very exciting. Recreation and aquatics numbers seem pretty consistent as well. Number of visits to the gym, the weight room, nothing really out of the ordinary in any of those. We did start pickleball program, which is happening Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9:30 to 11:30. Those times are pretty strategic because otherwise the gym's not being used, and anybody that is retired or even 50 plus, pickleball is a great sport to pick up. It doesn't require too much energy, athleticism, just a lot of socializing, have fun, and eager to learn something new. I'm looking around at our volunteers. If you haven't tried pickleball, go check it out, take a look. Just bring some sturdy running shoes. It's a great sport. I love it. And it's easy to learn and a lot of fun to play. So pickleball Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we are looking at potentially putting some pickleball courts outdoor at Ranchitos. Jeff just called me yesterday to see what will it take to get some pickleball courts over there. So that's pretty exciting to possibly expand that to an outdoor program here as well. Let's see, HVAC. So we do have 2 new HVAC units that are going to go over the weight room. Much needed. Both of those units are on their last leg. Parts are impossible to find because the units are so old. And I believe those are going on next Thursday, next November 8th. So that's exciting. Thanks to Jeff for getting so quickly on that and making that happen. Also city manager for giving that the green light because that's much needed. And then the membership tracking system at the rec center that we've talked about at committee, that got signed. Final paperwork's getting submitted this week, and that will be on its way. We'll be getting trained, and hopefully by December 1st, we will be on a new tracking system there at the rec center. So tracking memberships, payments, usage, anybody that's in the building will know that they're there, and we'll also have the emergency contact information for them. So if they're under 18 or anybody that's there and something happens, we know who to call. So that's a definite improvement in the facility over there. And it'll help with signing up for programs. If a program is canceled, aquatics, aqua aerobics or whatever is canceled for whatever reason, instructors not there, the chemicals are off, we can do a push notification that goes out to everybody that signed up for that program that class is canceled. If the facility is closed for any reason, power is out, we can send it to all the members that are in the system. Just let them know, hey, the facility's closed, or we're doing something, a special event or something like that. So that's another bonus of having that program there. Speaking of special events, this Friday, the Halloween party from 4 to 7. There is going to be a lot of candy, so don't drive up the hill for the candy. Bring your families to the recreation center. If they don't want to swim, that's fine. They can just do the activities in the gymnasium. There'll be candy. There'll be arts and crafts fair events. There'll be a number of communities. We'll have table events there. The library's partnering with them. So lots of fun things to do. And if the kids do want to jump in the pool and retrieve a pumpkin, apparently they float. That's another part of the program. So if anybody still looking to donate pumpkins, we need a lot more for that. Just bring them to the pool. We'll throw them in after we wash them off. Let's see. Otherwise, numbers look pretty consistent across the board. Library, very steady there, on track. We've scaled back down to Monday through Friday only. Saturday, we were open during the summer. Very limited usage. We didn't get the numbers that we had hoped, but we're down staff, so we're keeping it consistent Monday through Friday, and possibly looking at expanding to Saturdays again in spring as need requires. I'll be done for now. If there's any questions,
Thank you, Jeremy.
comments or concerns, and I hope to see everybody Friday.
Thank you.
No, we charge Jeremy with the care of our most vulnerable citizens that have, our senior citizens. So Jeremy, thank you, and you do a great service, and you got a large staff, and it's always hard. You and I are always hit and run, but we always try to make time with you. So thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, and of course, and I love going over to the senior center. My office is right there, and I drop in just to see them, their smiles, and they're playing bingo, and they're so happy with what we provide for them during the day. So if you have a chance to go visit the senior center between 10 and 1 o'clock any day of the week, it's great. It's a great place to be. Yeah, 2 Zumba instructors. That's something else.
That you, counselor?
Well, we have a good aerobics instructor.
That's her.
That's
Yeah, water aerobics is pretty popular too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy. Economic Development, Jolene Nelson, and her chairperson of her commission, Joanne Salazar, is here also. And I've met with them twice, Mayor. I met with Jolene and her committee twice. And getting them moving and motivated on how my vision is, and the vision of your administration, Mayor, and the governing body's vision of how economic development is going to move this city forward. And that's why I've met with them. I've helped give some ideas and some structure to their the ordinance governing and creating that commission, and moving the vision forward as how I like to see economic development and making the city, bringing it back to life, Mayor. And so with that, Jolene,
Okay.
stage is yours.
Hi, Mayor, Pro Tem, councilors. It's great to be in front of you again. You do have my report, so I'm just gonna give you like current updates, if that's okay. Is that okay? Right now, we're working on a project for Lano, with Lano, to see if we can not miss the boat this time, and see if we can identify properties so that maybe we can get some warehousing down here, some office space, even a training center. And so we're identifying properties. We haven't talked to any property owners. We're just identifying at this time. And so myself and Rebecca Seawall, the planning director, we've been working on this. Toby's been helping, Toby Vigil Commissioner has been helping us with all of this, and we're grateful for him. And I've attended meetings with Lano, both Los Alamos and Lano, and just trying to get a hold of this and see what we can do and include the city of Espanola in this. I'm also working closely with the commissioners, as the city manager had said. And thank you, Joanne, for coming. And we also have Floyd Archuleta as the vice chair, Toby Vigil, Marlo Martinez, and J.R. Trujillo. We have 2 counselors, Denise Benavides and Justin Salazar Torres, on the committee. Right now, we have a subcommittee going, and we are working on an ordinance, kind of giving it a little bit more meat. City councilor wanted us to do that. We're also working on the LIDA, and we also have a resolution ready for tonight. And also the Hunter Market. I'm doing this project with Rebecca Seawall. It's on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And thank you for all the departments. You all know who you are. Thank you so much for helping every way that you have. We have a great team, as the city manager said. We do have a great staff here. And they do not hesitate to help. And then Main Street, I am working on a technical assistant grant with the Main Street, New Mexico Main Street. We actually met today. We're identifying again properties. The Main Street area that we're proposing is from the old bridge to probably where the Espanola rocks are. And I think it's that way. And then up Hill Street and Bond Street up to Cala Lucero. And so that's the identified area that we will be working on. We will also have a stakeholder meeting soon, and then a town hall meeting in January. So we have those planned for the Main Street to move forward. We also met with both the Pueblos today. Code enforcement really wanted to have a meeting with Santa Clara. And so we set one up. The city manager also wanted us to invite Oke Awinge. And so we had a really good meeting just talking about the homeless issue. And my part in it would be the theft, because if we have a lot of theft, which you do right now, it's going to be difficult to get businesses here. So we're trying to just start talking. Let's see. I'm working on getting businesses here. It's a bit difficult, but I'm approaching people or businesses to see who can come or who wants to come here. And I'm just doing what I need to do and what I should do as my job. And then I'm also talking with Los Alamos County in a possible collaboration regarding the Llano project or other things. It would be good to collaborate. And then I met with businesses. The city manager wanted me to approach businesses about adopting a median, especially as you're coming into Espanola and making the turn to the Old Bridge. There's a lot of medians there that need to be taken care of. And then I just wanted to thank the Vigil family for stepping forward, because they had offered to paint the rocks, the Espanola rocks. And I know that our roads had cut the trees down there so that that could be visible. We completed the filming for the advertisement video for the city. And it's right now in the editing phase. And so that will come out soon. I want to thank all the departments again for helping me to get that done. And also thank Christine Bustos for helping me get the lowriders. I thought that was an important piece to put into the advertisement. And then just attended meetings for the acting city manager, and I'll be attending one Friday for the current city manager, and involved with the Chamber of Commerce with Tilly Nichols. And that was pretty fun. On the, what was that event there at the park? I can't think of it. What? Yes, Spirit Days, thank you. That was really fun. And then I also went to a couple of business meetings with some of the businesses in Espanola, and that was really good to meet people. I met the manager at the Sun, which is an important contact, I think. And then last, I'm working on a grant with Northern Rio Grande Heritage Area with Eric Vasquez, and that will be worked on right now. We're just in the talking phase. Any questions?
Anyone have any questions?
Just thank you for your presentation, and it helps us to understand a little bit about what is going on. I'm hopeful that everything that you're talking about has follow through and that we can recruit more businesses into Espanola. one of the other backbones of the city of Espanola are the businesses, because without the businesses, we don't have anything. Without the GRT that the businesses generate, the city of Espanola can't exist. So it's very important that we continue to recruit as much as we can concerning new businesses in any way, shape, or form. The city also has to be prepared in ways that make the city a viable place to do business. You did talk a little bit about the high rate of shoplifting in Espanola. I think that's something that we need to really concentrate on and try and lower those numbers as much as we can. It's frustrating for me when I see somebody shoplifting a store, because especially on the west side, Dollar General, if I'm in there and somebody is stealing in there, it breaks my heart, because that store is so beneficial to the entire west side of this community. And it's so convenient for us not to have to go get bread all the way to the other side of town. So it's very important that we support the store in every way that we can, but it's also important that we support them in trying to curb their shoplifting situation. So just continue to do what you can to recruit new businesses to the city of Espanola. I think that's one of the most important aspects of your job. And thank you for everything that you're doing for the city of Espanola. Thank you.
Thank you. Jolene, I wanted to follow up. I'm really happy we're doing that stakeholder meeting for Main Street. We've done meetings about Main Street for years here at this city. And one of the big things is, and I'm fine with people wanting to come and give their feedback of what they want from Main Street. But the key people that own property on Main Street have never even been invited to these meetings. And so we can have pipe dreams all we want all day, but unless the people who actually own the property on Main Street are actually coming to a meeting and a stakeholder meeting where people actually have an actual decision making, that's who needs to be at these meetings. So I'm really grateful that we're going to have that meeting, Jolene. I really would like to be there. Because I mean, we've done Main Street partnership ideas going back years and years, and it's fine. But one of the things is we can't get off the ground is because we don't have any investment from actual people that own property down there. And so I'm really hopeful that we at the city can change that aspect. We always want the community's aspect and vision for Main Street, but most importantly, we need the people who own property down there to be engaged in day one. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you. Oh.
Thank you, Jolene. And Mayor, as I have met with you about, and I met with the chair of the Finance Committee, Councilor Dennis Tim Salazar, we are owed money from cannabis. And our finance director got in touch with Tax and Revenue and identified the exact amount. And that'll be a matter for finance and for, of course, the Board of Finance, was the entire council and yourself, Mayor. And in their ordinance to give them something to work with, and instead of always tapping the larger tax, since we receive 4% of the 8% of local government taxes, the GRTs related to cannabis, of course, 4% going to whether it's Santa Fe County or Rio Arriba and us and the share of that, that a percentage go to economic development, but that'll be a matter going before the Board of Finance and the council and the governing body to decide how those monies are distributed. And there is no state statute that regulates us in how we do that and how we use those monies, so long as it goes back into the community. So next is General Service, Jeff Sargent.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, councilors, city manager. For general services and projects, I've just got a few I'm gonna stream through. We had an issue at the crisis center. We were having some water leaks over there, issues with the refrigerator that was leaking and destroying the floor, and also a sink that was leaking and causing damage to the floor. So my staff went over and we had the tile removed. We used the bleach water solution to take care of the floor issue to prevent mold. We did some tile replacement, replaced the sink faucet, and we removed the refrigerator so that they could not use it and cause more damage to a newly fixed floor. Second, been working with Rob Apodaca on the CDBG project for Ranchitos Park. We finally got to a point where we have submitted a scope of work, and we have pushed DFA and hoping that our contact, Mr. Lacy, will be able to help get us to not have to do a new environmental report, which was very time consuming the first time we approached this. So based on that, that's where we are at with that project. We do have plans in place. What we would probably do, if everything went as I would love to forecast, we would have to get with our architect firm who had helped us, Sierra Surroundings, and have them come and work with the scope of work that we did, remove some of the items that we had on their actual blueprints, and then put this out to bid here, I'd say within the next few months, so we can get that money spent. City Hall, we had a bad issue with plumbing last week. We had a plugged sewer line, which was affecting the front lobby men's and women's bathroom. We ran a camera through the system. We had dealt with this issue about 4 years ago when John Francisco was running the department under me. And the cast iron lines that are underneath City Hall are pretty much gone. They're deteriorating so fast that we're afraid that they will collapse. So we had to shut the bathrooms down. We tried running a snake through them, water pressure, multiple avenues to try and get that fixed, did not work. So right now I'm looking at the possible repair options. One of the main possibilities will be that we would have to shut off half of the lobby, and we'd have to cut concrete and run a whole new line directly out to our front parking lot to tee off into the main sewer line so we could get that going, but that's going to be a costly project. But that's what we're working on. As far as the animal shelter, City Manager Lujan and I had done a walkthrough when he first began, and we found some issues that we looked at as well as far as cosmetics, just issues that we had not been informed of. We communicated with the staff there, and we ended up getting them to submit about 17 work orders for stuff that needed to get handled. Of those 17, 14 have been completed. The 3 remaining are a little bit more time and work consuming to complete, along with the usual daily work orders that we have to deal with for the city, because that's not the only facility that we have to maintain. We have also winterized our swamp coolers and turned on heat systems at Comento, the boiler systems. Been doing work orders for Peak Behavioral Health, working with Amazon. In fact, I've got a walkthrough with Amazon tomorrow mid-morning. We're looking at possible HVAC replacements on 2 rooftop units that serve the gymnasium for them. So I'm going to be working with them. And lastly, we did install a new door on the southwest entrance to council chambers as of last week. We had been having security issues for years. Prior administration, we're having breaches of finding homeless people inside our building and stealing food from our refrigerator and doing as they wanted. That was the reason why we had the building, or those doors specifically, chained up, because of that type of issue. Based on that, I did get with acting city manager Sally Baxter and communicated with her that I was going to get a local contractor to get that resolved. So as you can see, we have a new door installed. It's a single door. It's a wider door, but it is more secure to where we can eliminate that threat. And that is all. I stand for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Sergeant. His staff is great. It's a pleasure working with him, and he's very, very responsive, and he gets things taken care of fast. Great backbone of your staff, Jeff. Thank you. Sally Baxter, HR.
Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Councilors, you have the written report for the Human Resources Department in your packets. A couple of things I just want to note. We are continuing open enrollment for employee benefits through the end of the month. This is open switch if anyone wants to make changes. We're continuing our recruiting efforts and interviewing. We're participating in job fairs as previously mentioned, but I also want to mention tomorrow, McCurdy School is having a career expo and the HR department will be participating in that. I'm really thrilled that our city manager and finance director have hit the ground running. They've assumed all the tasks that were previously that I had the honor to assist with, and we're focusing on some of the HR issues that need attention. I had the opportunity to meet with one of the union presidents today. We have 3 collective bargaining agreements. We hope to be meeting with all of our union presidents and working together on revising the personnel policy manual and bringing that forward to the council. I won't go through the whole report I provided. I'll just say that I am very happy to stand for questions.
Thank you, Sally.
Thank you.
Just a comment, just thank you, Sally, for the time that you spent as acting, and I want to recognize Shannon for that time also. I think that a lot fell on her shoulders because you were busy with other things, dealing with city management at that time. And I'm not sure that we've even recognized her at all for the extra that she had to do during that period. I know that she sort of took HR off of your shoulders in some way. And we just really need to appreciate both of you guys for stepping up when we needed you guys to. And as far as the hires go in Espanola, I'm hopeful that we can get some of the positions filled at the next job fair and get everybody the help that they need, especially water and wastewater. I know they're hurting right now, and we need to do whatever we can to make sure that we fill those positions. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. There will be a rapid hire event at the Northern New Mexico College Career Expo, November 8th. And I do want to say that HR generalist Shannon Sandoval is one of the finest people I've ever had the pleasure to work with. She will take on any task. She not only did she assume a lot of the HR duties, but earlier this year, she assumed accounts payable duties. She did double duty on both jobs. She never once hesitated to take on anything asked of her. So thank you for that recognition.
Absolutely. It's a well-deserved to mention it. I know the kind of work that she's doing with HR. And I just want to say publicly that I appreciate the work that she's doing.
Thank you.
I just want to commend you, Sally, for all the hard work that you did also as acting manager and during that time really carrying a lot of the financial situation here at the city too. So thank you. And still, Sally still gets together with HR, and Shannon, of course, is always helping, complimenting in that department. So thank you, Sally.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. And I was always telling you, I appreciate you always being right there for me when I need you, and always being able to answer my questions and enlightening me in different situations and giving me a different perspective. So thank you, Sally. Planning and zoning, Rebecca Sewell.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Pro Tem, members of the City Council.
you're all doing well. So I'll be pretty brief. It won't be the last time you hear from me tonight. So what we've been working on in the planning and zoning department, outside of our normal operations, we do operate on our normal planning and zoning commission cycle, which does take a lot of our time. So here are like some of our other projects that we're working on. So as Jolene was saying earlier, we've been working on creating a vacant property inventory, calculating cost estimates, acreage and square footage for vacant or blighted properties, or things that just need minor repairs, and generating those cost estimates to hand over to Lanol. We've had a continuation of connection with interested developers, working on connections with private homeowners and interested developers. The Hunter Market has been open for the last several weeks. We've seen consistent tent vendors. We're still working on consistent food truck attendance. So we're looking into what that looks like in the future. Permitting procedures have been continuing as usual. We had a meeting, we've been meeting with some public health regional partners, including Rio Arriba County's Health and Human Services Department. Dr. Dodsey, if you haven't worked with him, he's a delight, and his whole team is really great. And Jolene and I had the pleasure earlier of a meeting with Dr. Eric Ketchum, a addiction doctor at Presbyterian Espanola, who's been doing a lot of community-based work. We've been starting to outline improvements necessary for code revision, including observed shortcomings of articulations of setbacks, subdivision ordinances in relationship to current development context. McCurdy Master Plan did come through Planning Commission last month. They are going to be presenting later on, but they do still have a lot of work ahead of them with the community and the Department of Transportation. And we are currently working on a GIS project that you have a draft maybe attached in your packet. We're trying to do a heat map of kind of existing encampments to use as an interjurisdictional tool to support the Rio Arriba County's mobile case management services and their initiative for their upcoming community health survey. And then you should also have attached a code enforcement property list. We currently have 32 active properties that we've sent out notices to, and we are working on and following up on. And I stand for questions.
Thank you, Mayor. I would just like to state that the amount of work through planning and zoning, the type of work that, comes out of that department, I think they are very short-staffed. They really need help, but nonetheless, you all do it gracefully, and thank you for your hard work.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Counselor Dennis Tim Salazar's comments. Thank you for your.
And Rebecca forgot to mention, Mayor, councilors, she's been tasked with, and this is her idea, I just moved on it, rewriting the planning and zoning code, the development code. And last council meeting, Mayor, you appointed 2 counselors, I believe, Counselor Aaron Salazar and Counselor Denise Benavides to assist in these matters and to move it forward. And Rebecca, you work really, really hard. And as I'll echo Counselor Dennis Tim Salazar's comments, you're short staff, but so I encourage you, as I talk to you today, go to Sally's job fair, get it done. And we've discussed how we're going to move that forward. So thank you, Rebecca. And we'll see Rebecca in a little bit, Mayor, with the case she's bringing forward to the council. Where's my roads guy? Elijah Mares. Don't point at Jeremy, bro. Come on.
Okay, good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, councilors, attendees here, and everybody that's out there listening. I don't have anything in front of me right here. I do have the stuff that I did submit. I'd just like to really start with thanking some of my crews that I got out there that don't get a lot of recognition. We have parks out there. There's 3 people that take care of 5 major areas. They work diligently. They work hard, day in and day out. I just like to be able to make sure that they're recognized on that kind of stuff. They're making sure that the fields are ready for softball, that, everything's clean out there, everything's getting watered, everything's taken care of and safe for the public. Our fleet department consists of 1 person. They've been doing a great job right now. We're hoping to hire a couple more on there. We have some potential people that be coming in there. And that department's doing really well too. The streets department itself, they've always been great. They help out a lot. They help out in every department, whether it be police, fire, everybody else that's out there. I mean, and their own stuff too. So I know there's a lot of things that they do. The departments have been very busy, taking care of some of the roads there. East Pueblo, I know, was a thing of contention there. There was some, the subgrade there's pretty bad. So we wanted to be able to, take care of some of that. We took care of some of the major stuff there in La Jolla that was needed. A lot of the medians and stuff they're working on right now. So there's a lot of that's being done out there. It's just like, so they work diligently and they work hard. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on there. I know my report was only 1 page, but there's so much more that goes in on that. So if you have any questions there, I know it's getting late. Everyone's getting kind of tired there. So if you have any questions for me, anything, just please feel free.
I don't have questions, but I do want to recognize all your staff. You have your plate full. You have a lot going on. I'm sure every day is a challenge to how you're going to get tasks accomplished throughout the day and moving people around probably to get those tasks done. But I have noticed the improvement in the parks, especially up here. I pass by there every single day. I have noticed that grass is being watered more efficiently. Seems like the sprinklers are working a lot better. And it just seems a little bit cleaner all the way around. And like I said earlier, concerning your street people, they're just amazing. That crew is just killing it. I mean, the young lady that you have working with those guys is an amazing worker. I've seen her on her own. I've seen her with a weed eater up here this week, killing it. And also when she was painting the crosswalks for the Espanola Public Schools and all those areas. Also saw her with the shovel when they were working on the East Pueblo improvements. And I just have to tell you, I'm totally impressed with her abilities and her commitment to do a hard job. And it's awesome to see what you guys are doing. The medians are improving all the time and things are just looking a little bit better all the time. And I really feel like your department is one of the main reasons for that. So thank you for your leadership. Continue to push in the directions that you're pushing. And hopefully soon, April will have all our numbers in and we'll be able to do whatever we can for your department.
I thank you there, and that is very helpful there. We also are working on County Road 2. Any portion of a county road that's within city limits is usually our responsibility for the upkeep of that. The county was gracious enough to be able to include that portion of it into the paving that they did there by the Union Hall. Waiting for some quotes right now, a couple different companies to see if we can get some striping done there from the edge of the city limits, which is at the Arroyo there, all the way up to New Mexico 30 intersection. And I know Zuni Lane is part of that quote that I'm waiting for there. So I kind of added that one to there. So as soon as I get that, I know those are roads that really need some attention. They all need attention, but I think we're going to take care of those right now. And once we see where our budget's at and where we can actually, spend a little bit more on there, we will pay attention to those a little bit more.
Okay, thank you so much for everything again.
Counselor Manny Martinez.
Thank you, sir. I just want to thank Elijah. You guys are doing a fantastic job. Thank you for all the work that you've done on La Jolla Street. You can really tell a difference. And I know it's been a lot of work and a lot of work, time coming to get these things done, but thank you. And as far as the parks are concerned, now that I have a 4-year-old staying with me, we've been visiting the parks a lot more than I normally did in the past. And I have to say they are in fantastic shape. So thank you so much, Elijah, and your crew. Please thank them for me. Because that's a lot of work that those guys are doing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Counselor Dennis Tim Salazar.
Thank you, Mayor. I would just like to echo our Mayor Pro Tem and then also Councilor Manny Martinez. Elijah, you and your department, a lot of unsung heroes. Just great work day in, day out, day in and day out, all of the time. And thank you for that. I'm sure just a lot of people don't know how it's done, but of course, these people that aren't noticed. And thank you for bringing that up because we thank you guys and all the work that you guys do. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Counselor Annette Rodriguez.
Elijah, thank you. for your hard work and your dedication and for recognizing your staff. You mentioned that you had 3 employees in parks, and I know that we have a packet. I don't have it in front of me. You have 1 employee in fleet. How many in streets?
We have 1 administrative assistant, and then there's 3 service workers, 2 operators, the foreman, which oversees all 3 departments, and myself that oversees the 3 departments on top of that. So within the actual department, there's 5. Then, of course, the foreman and myself also, you know, we'll step in there. We also help their rent equipment, help to do for things that are, I mean, if they don't have time to do it, we also step up on that. So 5 really full-time at that, and then myself and Daniel Frescas is the other one that helps me a lot right there.
So Elijah, this is a testament to all the hard work that you and your crew do. You have a very small crew and you're responsible for so much. So thank you again for your dedication. Thank your crew and your wonderful leadership. Means a lot. Thank you.
Counselor Aaron Salazar.
Elijah, thank you. I, of course, want to echo everything, you know, all the counselors are saying. And the one young lady, I've seen her out there, like Pro Tem Matt mentioned, she's a worker. She gets out there, she handles, you know, whatever needs to get done. The parks, the 3 employees, I see them out there bright and early, watering. They're, you know, doing a great job. This park up here, the walking park, you know, it looks great. Thank you, really appreciate it. One mechanic, how do you handle that?
We have 1 right now. He's doing a great job. We've caught up on a lot of stuff. He's reaching out also to like Ford has a program that they come out and they do recalls here there instead of us having to take vehicles to Albuquerque. They'll come down here to us and we're taking care of 10, 12 vehicles at a time on recalls or any type of warranty issues around there. So that also, you know, that helps a lot there too. So just being able to have that kind of, you know, outreach there to the different places to utilize what's out there for us. Like I said, they're doing an amazing job right now, and hopefully if we get a couple more in there, it'll just be that much better. So thank you.
We want to thank you all. Appreciate it. The whole department. Thank them, the parks.
Counselor Justin Salazar Torres.
Thank you, Mayor. Elijah, you guys are always coming through, and I appreciate all the work you guys got done for the requests of the constituents that have come through. So I appreciate you guys wholeheartedly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Elijah, you know how much I appreciate you guys, and then being so responsive, and so obviously, you know, congratulations again, the crew of the week. I look forward to taking you guys out to lunch, and just keep up the good hard work, bro. You know, you are much appreciated, is very obvious, and this community obviously will appreciate that too. So thank you so much. And to Daniel, the rest of the crew, bro, thank you. Thank you so much. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Matt, John Francisco, front and center.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council and city manager. I don't have my report in front of me. I did submit it, but it doesn't seem to be there. But we've been working on a lot of things. A week from today, we'll mark our 1 year serving the residential 4,000 to be exact, a little over 4,000 households that we've been picking up residentially for a full year, uninterrupted. We've had some major challenges, as you all are aware, but the service continued nonstop. So grateful to my tireless crew. One of them's here tonight. So when we first started, it's Mr. Ivan here. So but I have my entire crew. Yeah. He'll be actually running against Mr. V Hill for mayor next term. That's our running joke. So There's your competition, boss.
I thought you referred to this hill.
It was that video. So how it's kind of funny. So so this with this year going, I mean, it's pretty incredible for what we've been through. We acquired an automated truck about 3 months ago that we put into our front line, which was a savior to the residential pickup service, to be able to serve this community with the equipment that we have has been nothing short of a miracle with what we have. So with the struggles that we've had and the tireless crew that we have, these guys are super dedicated to completing their job. When this board first started and made the decision to go and do this service for their community, there was a big campaign. I remember all of you were really campaigning about the residents bagging their trash. And it's still a humongous big issue that the trash is not being bagged. So the crew is really having to sift through a lot of loose trash, which is pretty dangerous. We've encountered thousands and thousands and thousands of syringes daily that they have to kind of be careful with. So their job is super dangerous. I don't know if a lot of people really understand what they go through, because a lot of this stuff is done by hand. So with the automated truck that we acquired about 3 months ago, it took care of about 40% of our hand picking trash, which is a terrific number. So that's been an ongoing thing. We took on the commercial side of it in February. So in this coming February will be a year on that one. We're serving a little over 340 businesses with the commercial side of it. So these are the big dumpsters that you see, the dark gray ones that we put up in February. So that endeavor has been going pretty much same way. It's been going, the service has been pretty much nonstop, and with the dedicated service that we have. And we do have a spare truck for that one too. The unfortunate part of it is that we did get a truck that broke down, a pretty imperative piece of equipment that broke down, and it's been down for 2 weeks. And this is the first time since we've been doing this that we have not been able to continue service for certain customers. And it's been a real tragedy. It's been super difficult for us through this transition. I did set dumpsters up for those commercial customers, but what that does is it shifts the work from one truck to several more trucks. And so the workload changes. And but we've been smoothly going through it so far. And we hope to get this truck back up and going really soon. So it looks like tomorrow the part will be in the truck. So we're hoping that does come to fruition today. So I'm pretty excited about that. The 1 year mark is just super exciting for me, because, you know, to go with 4,000 household customers uninterrupted is a great feat for us, just to simply jump into this with no warning. I'm pretty excited about this. So 1 week from today, we'll be doing this. So this is every single day, Monday through Friday, that these guys are picking up about 1,000 poly cards a day. So it's pretty incredible. So we've been working on that. Our complaints are less than maybe 2%. So with that said, we're working on, I'm still wanting to see if I can get the public's help with some of our private drives, because a lot of these private drive roads are really getting in bad shape. So for us traversing down some of these roads that aren't being maintained, driveways and such like that. So we're having some difficulties with that still. But other than that, we've been doing pretty good. I was able to order, we did get an emergency purchase for one of our trucks last week. Thank you guys very much. This truck will be come in very handy for our small roads like this. So that truck was ordered 2 weeks ago. So we're pretty excited about that one. That one's going to be we should have that truck in our possession within 120 days. So we're excited about that. And I stand for any questions.
The good news today that you gave me.
So today, I did, now I had a meeting with a contractor that we have that hauls our trash off to landfills. So 100% of the material that we collect here does not stay here. This material is hauled to the biggest majority of this material gets hauled to Sandoval County. It's a pretty far trek for us to haul this material out. So we have a contractor that does that. So I met with this contractor because they also do roll-off business, and this is one of the trucks that we had broken down. They happen to have a brand new truck on the ground that they don't need. It's brand new. They just bought it, and it is for sale. So that is good news. But of course, we'd have to look at the pricing structure on that. What they have, I did get the specs for that today. I actually saw it today, so it was pretty exciting. I didn't expect to do that when I went out to go see them because I was wanting to discuss their contract with us, and we've been into it with them for 6 months now. And we're supposed to be going back to the table to see how things are working, if we need to make any adjustments to how we do business together. And I think that we're on a pretty good track. It's still very expensive. And I think that it's something that that needs to be looked at a little more carefully. So we also discussed some future plans. We had a discussion with them probably close to a year ago about landfill operations. Rio Arriba County does not have a landfill, and city of Espanola has some property that we had discussed, and they are landfill operators. So there may be some interest in somebody to operate a landfill for the city of Espanola. So I think with some of these communications that I've been having with some of our local governments surrounding us, like Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, Sandoval, which is Sandoval County, and Caja del Rio and Santa Fe. I have a lot of confidants there that I talk to and bounce a lot of information off. So I think that it's something that the city should look at. I think that we have a big opportunity to change our operations financially, and I think that it's something that really needs to be looked at. Because we need to do something within the next 4 years. So we need to start talking about landfill or transfer station or something. So that'll be coming soon.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Francisco, I want to thank you and your staff. 48,000 dumps in households in a year. 48,000 times you guys picked up our trash. And everybody knows from our experience in the past what trash can do when it piles up in a household. And if it doesn't get picked up in a timely manner, how frustrating and how gross it can be and how unhealthy it can be for our entire community. Despite all the speed bumps you guys have hit on the road, you've managed to somehow pull it together. I want to thank you for that. I think that leadership is everything in a department, and I appreciate what you're doing with that. You did mention that the part will be in tomorrow for that truck. That truck is a side load.
No, that is a roll-off. So it looks kind of like a dump truck, and it picks up a large bin the size of a dump truck that rolls up onto it. And that's what we dump, like construction debris. And then the big box stores are the ones that are suffering on that matter.
So then if you purchase the other truck that's new and this one, you'll have the 2 roll-off trucks.
I will have a backup for it. Yes, ma'am.
Can you give me an idea of what happened with the other used vehicle that we had looked at in
Pecos, or is it Glorieta?
Glorieta.
Okay, so the truck in Glorieta, I'm glad that you brought that up. So the truck in Glorieta is very young in miles. I think it had, like, if I remember right, it's like 5,000 5,000 miles is very little. But that unit was parked for over 20 years. So the rodents got into the wiring and other things. It did start. I don't know if it would run. So all of the brake systems, all your brake lines, your hydraulic cylinders were leaking. So I'm not even sure if it would make the trip to Espanola. So I think it would take a whole lot of money and way too much effort then, because it's also a rear loader. So whenever and to educate people, because I think that's probably where I really haven't explained what a trash truck is. There's several different kinds. They all look like a trash truck, okay, but they all are different. So we have rear loaders is what we're using, and those are the ones that we load by hand. So we pick the trash out of the bins by hand, and put them in the back of these trucks. There's what's called a front loader. So these front loaders are a commercial type of a vehicle. So this is the one that has the forks in the front and it actually picks up and it dumps into the top of the unit. That's a different kind of truck than a rear loader. And then there's also a side loader, one that you're talking about, which there's two different types of side loaders. One of them is a commercial side loader and then is a residential side loader. What we need is two residential side loaders. It will actually pick up a poly cart with a grapple and it has an arm that will come up and it'll dump it into the top of the truck and it'll compact it and do that. So there's another side loader that's that will pick up dumpsters. There's only one small community that I know of. I'm sure there's more, but this is very close to home. Santa Clara uses the side loader like this, and they have one truck that was very old that just broke down, and I think it took them like, I want to say it was 2 years. It was a long time. They ordered. I don't think it's even come in yet. So these things are specialized pieces of equipment. So they're experienced with exactly what happened. So that's a different type. And then what's a roll off? This one handles construction types of. It looks like a dump truck when it has the bin on it. When it doesn't have a bin on it, it just has rails on the back. So there's several, and they're all specialized equipment for trash. So it's not just one type of a trash vehicle. We currently use and need at least 3 different types. For the
Thank you for
size.
your presentation, Mr. Francisco. And again, thank you guys. Celebrate a job well done for the entire year. Our community appreciates you.
Congratulations. Thanks for the hard work, John.
Thank you.
Mayor, I it slipped my mind, but Bryce Abita is online from Public Works. Bryce, if you can keep it brief, just in the time constraints and consideration for the governing bodies agendas.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, members of the council. I'll make it short and sweet. I just wanted to thank the employees that I have. I have 4 total, including my foreman. We handle a lot of we average for about 15 work orders a day, on top of checking wells, maintaining chlorine systems, dealing with the public if they have any issues or concerns as well. We are maintaining. They're doing a great job working hard and maintaining what we have, what we do on a daily basis. We are taking care of all the important things, making sure we repair all water leaks. They are working 24/7. Weekends, nights, they get called out, numerous times, and I just really like to thank them for all the hard work that they do. We are also averaging 2 to 4 water leaks a week as well, on top of everything as well. But our samples are coming out good. We're maintaining our chlorine. Like I said, they are doing a wonderful job. And I stand by for any questions.
Bryce, could you mention the classes that you guys recently had at your department?
Oh yes, we did currently hold a water and wastewater class. It's a short school, so it's a 2-day school. Anybody from all over the state or anybody that wants credit hours, they can sign up for these classes. So we hold that once a year for the New Mexico Water and Wastewater Association. So they currently had that this past week on Wednesday and Thursday. So that turned out there was probably about 12 altogether. So it was a pretty good sized class. And speaking of training credits, our guys have to do the same thing. They have to maintain their training credits in order to keep their certifications. So
Thank you for that. And thank you for providing the staff with the opportunity to receive those credits and to continue to grow and build in our departments. Hopefully they'll stick around with the city of Espanola and stay with us in their career. I want to thank you for everything that you guys are doing. I know that you're short-staffed, and I'm hopeful that you and wastewater will have an opportunity to really get somebody hired at the event at Northern coming up this week, correct? Next month, the 8th, yeah, November 8th. I'm hopeful that if you guys haven't hired anybody by then, that some opportunities will come of that, on that. Thank you, Bryce.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bryce. You know, we always appreciate you and everything that you put forward is as maintaining one of the crucial departments, just like John Francisco, Jeremy, Elijah, our police protection, all our services, and like I stated earlier, the backbone of our community. Thank you so much, Bryce. And last but not least, our new finance director, April Moya.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, councilors, Mayor Pro Tem, City Manager. April Marie Moya, the new Finance Director. For those that don't know me, I know I just got introduced, but I wanted to introduce myself for those that don't know me. I would like to just recap my last 7 days here. That's what I have for you today on my report. And of course, I will stand for questions at the end. I did speak at the Finance Committee meeting and gave some of you a 30-60 partial 90-day plan that I intended to carry out. So I stated originally that I wanted to focus on understanding the current financial workflows comprehensively and identify any new flags that needed urgent attention. So when I was interviewing for this position, the city manager stated that he wanted somebody that could hit the ground running. And I assured him that I would be able to do that. I hope that I have done that, and I hope that my efforts have proved to be true, because I have been like a chicken without a head for the past 7 days, literally. Which is great. I am very fast paced. I took it on a grain of salt, but I have determined I'm going to try to fix this in order. I'm going to give you just my past 7 days. I've been training with Joyce, but not as much as I would have liked to have been training with her. I hope to do that later this week a little bit more, but I have been pulled in many directions, which any finance director does carry many hats. On a good note, I have worked with Joyce and we have completed the first quarter that is due to Department of Finance. I am reviewing it one more time this evening, and then a final review will be done Thursday, and I should have that submitted off to DFA by Friday. That is my goal. And it'll be updated to the DFA's ALGE BMS system. Original due date is December 30th, so we will get something to them in a timely manner. Yes. I did state on the Finance Committee meeting that we had pending issues with the FY22 audit and the FY23 audit, and I just wanted to give an update on that. I mentioned last meeting that I had been working with the state auditor, finding out what was going on, just got a brief summary. I have reviewed the FY22 audit, and because I wasn't here in 22, all I can do is agree that what the findings they have had are accurate and true. And I'm providing a response, which is in a draft format right now, that I will be doing a final review with Joyce so that I can get some feedback from her. And the audit will be completed once I finish that. And that my goal for that would be Friday as well, but it just depends on the final Q1 report. So hopefully no later by next Monday, I should be able to have those responses on the FY22 audit and we can get that closed out. FY23, there were some deliverables that needed to be updated to OSA. I went ahead and got all the signatures that we needed on that and other deliverables that the state auditor needed. So the state has approved the state auditor that we have with a contract. I uploaded the signed contract by me as well as the state auditor or the contracted auditor. I'm sorry about that. And so now I'm just waiting for DFA. And the contracted auditor has emailed DFA to let them know that our 23 audit will be late because that is due December 15th. So now it's just communications of getting them out here and getting that audit started. So those are some updates on the audit. In the meantime, I am working on trying to fill these 2 staff positions as my department is short-staffed. I mentioned that prior. I need a comptroller and a financial analyst. Those applications, I believe, are coming in, so I'm working with HR to see once we hit a certain amount of candidates, we can start those interviews. I did sit in this week on IT interviews with 2 candidates, so that took up a little bit of my time as well, but it was good for me, and I think it was good for the city. I'm working with department heads on understanding their budget needs. I haven't met with every single department, but I have met with some of them because they love to just barge into my office and interrupt me and ask lots of questions, which is, it's expected. I think there hasn't been a finance director, I think, in a period of time, and I think there's a lot of stuff that the ball has been dropped on. They need help, they need assistance, they need support, they need to know about their budget. So I'm doing my best to wrap my head around each of the departments and help them the best that I can. So I've been busy with that. The other thing I've been doing is reviewing policies, procedures, and internal controls. I have walked into a position of the aftermath of my predecessor or predecessors, and I have found multiple issues that not only line up with what I found in the audits, but what I found on my own. We do have a lack of processes and procedures within the finance department. There's a lack of internal controls. There's minimal separations of duties, access controls, system of approvals and reviews. And so my goal is to put in the best practices to be able to improve on all of these areas. So I have met with my staff. I've been asking questions. I've been pulling any processes and procedures that we do have. The bulk of them either outdated, not updated, not being followed. This is something, again, that happened prior to me coming on board, but these are things that I'm finding out, and my goal is to fix those immediately. So I seem to have a pretty good staff so far. I've met with all of them that I do have. I have 4 direct staff under finance. I've also been tasked to oversee the customer service and utility department. We recently had a individual from that department also resign. So I've been tackling the utility customer service department as well. And everybody in there, the 3 girls that I have are great. They're working with me and trying to figure out the process and procedures in there as well. That was something that came up on the audit fines. So I think that's important for me to tackle as well, as far as improving their processes and procedures in there and ensuring that they have the proper internal controls in place. But that is up for concern, but I am on it and I'm working on it the best that I can. Again, 7 days in isn't a whole lot. I've walked into many positions where I've had to hit the ground running and haven't had a lot of training or a predecessor to guide me. And that's the situation now, other than there's a lot of other multiple things that need to be dealt with. But I think that I've done okay so far. I hope that I have. I hope everybody's pleased with that. I'm making it my business to know everything of a financial nature of City Hall. So that's what I'm trying to do. I've been sitting in on a lot of meetings with the city manager and different departments so that I can ensure that anything that has to do with finances, I'm involved in the meetings. I understand what's going on, and I want to know what the pulse of the financial situation of the city. My goal is accountability, transparency, knowing what the big picture is here on our city finances, and being able to put together the financial strategies and solutions that we do need. It's going to take time. I cannot create a miracle, and I would just like to let the council know that. It's going to take a lot of work. I need to get some positions filled. I also am working on inventorying finance staff skill sets. And so I've worked with my individual staff members to find out where they're at. I've begun cross-training with some of them where I see that the need fits, and trying to provide them any needs or support that they need. So I've reached out to them on that. There was some training that needs to take place with my staff. Let's see, what else do I have? I have lots of stuff. We could be here for a while, but I'm gonna just try to give you a little bit. I did identify some infrastructure funds The city obtained funding for some infrastructure projects and we drew down all but 259,000. So we have the remaining available to spend or draw. So if we complete the documents to extend the funding, we can do that, but we have to do that by January 4th. So my goal is to determine where it can be best be used so that we don't lose that funding. City manager mentioned earlier about the cannabis funding. There's 136K right now in that. The other goal I have is just to understand what the governing body's vision is for the financial department and just make sure that I remain in tune while I'm on board to make sure that that vision is carried out. Let's see. I would like to, let's see, I'm freezing. I don't know if anybody else is freezing, but this is a very cold room. I've been sitting there shaking for
Because of us.
however long. What's that? I know, I said, did you turn up the air conditioner or did you turn down the heater?
The thermostat's behind us. What is it at?
Let's see if I think that is it. I have one more thing I have here.
32?
Okay, I mentioned the analysis of the financial department that I'm doing. Oh, staffing and resources. I am also redesigning some of the financial procedures and I did mention the policies, but forms. So I'm jumping around and finding out. There's a lot of outdated forms, things that we need in procurement and other areas. I'm going to try to follow the 80-20 rule. Remember that 20% of anything I do as a finance director creates 80% of my value to the organization. And basically, we just need to get our financial house in order. I'll be honest with you. That's what it is. Again, I need some more time to really look at this budget and really look at each department head's budget and just address the audit. So I want to make this clear to many people because I think the public and maybe even I'm not even sure the governing body, anybody has questions about audits. Audits aren't a report card. Some people think it's saying you guys failed. That's not what it is. What it is the state auditor looks at what we're doing and they find, or the contractor, they find out where there may be deficiencies, where there's possible ways for fraud to be carried out. If they see that there's any of these controls that are missing, they identify them and they let us know. That's what the audit reports are about. Comes back to us, which is in my hands now to look at the 22 and probably the 23, and I'll address the 22 immediately, which I've already discovered issues on my own without having to look at that audit. Our goal, my goal, I'm going to make sure it's my department's goal is to fix these issues. Where do we need to correct them? So it's a helpful tool is what it is. It's kind of like when you go to school, your teacher gives you a grade report, gives you a little bit of feedback. This is where you need to improve. That's what it is. It's process improvement, figuring out how we can be better, how we will be better. And that is my ultimate goal, is to make us better. But again, it is going to take time and it's going to take staff. And right now I have staff, but I am alone in other positions. And so I hope to fix as many problems as I can and just take it one day at a time. But other than that, I don't have anything else to add, but I stand for any questions you may have.
Councilor Dennis Tim Salazar.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Ms. Moya, for the report. I think you said it perfectly. First, you have to identify. And after that point, once you identify these problem areas, there's come up with a plan, and you definitely need that support. Staff support pretty much all around. And then, of course, through our city manager and through the governing body as well. What have seen is like you stated, you've only been here a week and you really hit the ground running like a bullet. So thank you so much for your hard work and everything that you've done. And I think we all are aware that it is going to take some time to be able to fix several issues. But as long as, just again, identifying and forward moving, I'm very confident that it, be able to be done, and any support that we could give as well. I think we're happy to in being able to identify certain ways. So thank you, Ms. Moya. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Councilor Salazar.
Mayor, and governing body, last week, the mayor and I were in Las Cruces for an infrastructure funding conference that was hosted by NMFA, DFA, Association of Counties, the Municipal League. quite a few attendees. And one of them was her former boss, Wesley Billingsley, the director of local government for DFA. And he told me, hey, Eric, thanks a lot for stealing one of my prize employees. And that being Miss Moya. And he says, you guys are going to be just fine. And that he, of course, is looking forward to working with her. She's got the direct contact. Basically, what I brought to this governing body and to this city is the context that we have to opening up the doors that were close to us, partially close to us, and hitting the ground running and having those contacts with DFA has been so far in the first 7 days so crucial to us, and keeping and maintaining the communication with them that we are moving forward. So it's very obvious. She's meeting with the state auditor. She's meeting with our auditor. She's meeting with DFA. She's keeping them abreast of what we are doing here and how we are fixing this issue. Mr. Chairman, Finance Committee, you've been tasked with your committee duties along with Councilor Rodriguez, Councilor Salazar Torres, Councilor Manuel Martinez to also bring forward what the finances to this governing body and how we process the budget. And she understands this and she's communicating well with everybody. And she's worn so many hats the last 7 days and she will continue to. And she's got to really arrange her schedule to accommodate my directors so that those budget processes go smoothly and they come forward to your committee, Mr. Chair, to bring those budgets forward where you got to make adjustments, right? Where the governing body has to come forward as the Board of Finance to make sure that we are balanced. And April, thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you, everyone here, for your patience this evening. Mayor, with your permission, those directors that don't have further business with the governing body, that they be able to go home and have a great evening. Thank you, April.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Peggy Sue Martinez.
Thank you, Miss April. I just wanted to say that one of the hardest things to do is to admit our deficiencies. But as people, as a entity, as a governing body, as a city, we can't move forward until we do. You know, the deficiencies that the audit brought, I sat on the exit audit conference. Those are things that I had been concerned about since the year before when we got a clean audit. Those are things that were happening back then. They happened again. They just happened to be issues that were caught by this audit this time. So those things to me are things that require us as a governing body to address and to create policy that makes it better for everybody. And what I can tell you is that I really believe that every single governing body member wants to see that happen. And we're committed to making the changes that need to come. And we're committed to doing things correctly in the eyes of the state auditor. We want to make sure that we regain their trust and we maintain the public's trust in what we're doing. And the finances are everything. If we maintain our finances and we utilize ICIP in the correct way, in a way that is quick and get projects done, the public will start to see the projects that are coming and they'll understand where the city's at with those things. I know that there's some ICIP money that we have sat on for a while concerning CDBG money at Ranchitos Park. I don't know if I got that acronym correct or not. But those are all things that we definitely want to be on top of. And the other thing that I do have concerns on is the grants that we currently have. Are we maintaining the information to the grant or to make sure that we stay under the grants correctly and that we're following everything that they want us to follow on those grants? I sort of feel bad for you because you're in a fire, literally. But at the same time, I can tell you that just with what you've said, I have total confidence that you have the capability of bringing us through this storm, and whatever we can do as an entity to make sure that we're financially responsible to this entire community. I know that I'm committed, and I believe that all members of this governing body are just as committed to that. So thank you so much for everything you're doing. I don't want you to get burned out or overwhelmed, but I do appreciate the strides that you're taking and the 100-yard dashes that you're running on a daily basis. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for everything you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. If I can respond to that, I would like to answer your question about the grants. And I should have given you an update on that, but I didn't give an individualized update on each of my staff members. But we do have a former, I won't say a former, a fairly new hire who was tasked to do some grants work. And so I've been working with her on tackling that right now, because that's the last thing that I want is to be losing money.
Right.
Money we
Right.
need to get back into our budgets. So she is diligently working on that, researching things that have been put to the side or forgotten about, or just with transition. So that is another thing that I am working on.
Thank you so much again for everything you're doing, Ms. Moya. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moya. At this time, we're going to take a 5-minute recess. Thank you for all the directors this evening, and then we will get back to it with the rest of the agenda. The time is 8:41. We're going to reconvene at 8:48.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Everybody went, then it was,
Hey, Kara did go. Kara did go.
And, Senator Shinto. But he's been for a little while. Joseph, Susan, Andrea, and you know what, it was my fault that I didn't, but I.
Shay, are you there in Zoom world?
Well, that's. I've several. And. And they're having. Well, actually. I go, but it's because now that. It actually. So there. The mayor.
All right, everybody, let's get back to business.
So sorry. Yeah, we have to. So, yeah. I'm just here for moral support because I know because I had a. So, I didn't know you guys. Maybe it's like, whatever. Yeah, so now you could think I'm
I'm always about me. That was
So, and, Eric's kind of, Eric's gonna do.
Thank you. So proud of you. I really. I'm trying, I'm gonna do.
I've been working hard over there. We had our legislative dinner tonight. I was working on that for like 2 weeks. And. 40 people. At the center. But I talked to somebody the other day, we're gonna talk. Yeah, we all have to work together. 'Cause I-
Going to reconvene, everybody. Thank you. We took a brief recess. Time is 8:50. Moving on. Items proposed for council consideration, discussion items, action items. First reading of ordinance 2023-3 regarding increased funding ordinance 2023-3, an ordinance authorizing the city of Espanola, the city, to amend ordinance 2021-3 for the purpose of increasing the funding amount of the New Mexico Environment Department, New Mexico ED, Clean Water State Revolving Fund, loan number CWSRF 76. Mr. Eric Lujan and Miss Sally Baxter. I know Sally's been really working diligently in the past time as acting manager. So Sally and Eric.
Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Councilors, this is a project to install a sewer line on State Road 76. It was initially proposed for design in 2017. The ordinance in your packets before you is a request to increase the funding. We have advertised for this first reading in the Rio Grande Sun. We are advertising in the Rio Grande Sun for the hearing. The hearing is scheduled to be held at the November 14th meeting. And I'm happy to stand for questions.
Mr. Lujan, I know working with project management. Where are we on this project? This project's been ongoing since 2017 and the people up to Bustos Curve and Santo Niño and Santa Cruz have been asking for quite some time. And so it would be nice to have a timetable of where we're at.
You know, Mayor, Madam Mayor Pro Tem, councilors, as I reported last time, this is a priority. In fact, today I was back and forth between the Zoom call with our project manager, Rob Apodaca, Ms. Baxter and Ms. Trujillo Esperanza sat in the meeting and I was briefed by Esperanza after. And so we have to create a priority list. So this, and of course, Ranchitos Park, all falling within that. So to clear it up, when I met with the District 5 chief engineer, he's not the district engineer, but he falls under, he's right under the district engineer, and then you've got the construction, maintenance, the different engineers within that. Mr. Martinez, his first name eludes me, it's Mayor. But I met with him here in our committee room.
Javier Martinez.
Javier, thank you, Mayor. And he said, look, they want to clear up that discrepancy with the redesign of the traffic on it, right? And that was gonna hit us for about $28,000 that the city would have to pay for the redesign, something that was done in 2017. It's been my argument and the direction from the governing body that we not pay that. The design is there. Let them figure it out. The department has an in-house design to take care of things like this, but we're dealing with so many different engineering firms that, you know, we have to get this done. So he's agreed to go back to what was planned and not really hit us with this large bill. It's going to probably make the engineering firm a little bit angry because they're claiming that they have the certification and the punchline from a PE, a professional engineer that's no longer with their firm. And well, what does that have to do with the city of Espanola? Why do we have to go and pay for another redesign of a portion of a design of a whole project based on that? So moving forward with getting the infrastructure that's currently before you this evening, Mayor, that goes before the council, then the meeting in November. Once we get that approved, then we can move the project forward.
I'm excited.
Can you touch base a little bit on the process for the public? We have the first reading now, and then the second reading will be the first meeting of the next month.
Mayor Pro Tem, that's correct. We advertise in a newspaper, recognized newspaper of local circulation, which for us is the Rio Grande Sun. We advertise the title of the ordinance, and we do note that copies of the complete ordinance are available from the office of the city clerk. In this case, because it's the funding and it's a short matter, it's the one page that's in the packet. We have the first reading, which is just to introduce it as we're doing now. We again advertise in the Rio Grande Sun, and that ad's already been sent in to the Sun. And then the hearing will be held, and it will be conducted like any other hearing, called to order, votes. And if it's adopted by the governing body, then it's again published, letting the public know that the ordinance has then been adopted. So we will have, our timeline is to have the hearing at the November 14th meeting.
So because of that, immediately we have to post, there should be a notice in tomorrow's paper. Was there that done?
Yes, Mayor, that ad has been sent in.
Okay.
City clerk will, and the city clerk will receive the affidavits of publication for all of the ads.
The meeting will be effectively 2 weeks from today.
Thank you both for your efforts in this project that has been long-standing and long awaited by the citizens of that area of this community. Your efforts in moving it forward as you have since you've hit the ground, Mr. Lujan, and while you were acting, Sally, are evident in the fact that we're even doing this evening. I'm hopeful that we have done everything correctly as far as the advertisements, like the mayor says, and we will be voting on this in the very near future. Thank you.
Thank you.
So this is not an action item, ladies and gentlemen. This is just information purposes. Okay, next up, co-sponsorship Downtown Action Team and the City of Espanola for the Christmas Light Parade. El Tini and Pedro.
Oops.
Go ahead, Tini.
Been sitting too long. Okay. My name is Pedro Valdez and I'm co-chair of the Downtown Action Team Espanola. And this is Tini Bustos, the chair. And I will read what I have here. The Downtown Action Team is requesting a co-sponsor for the 27th Annual Electric Light Parade and Christmas on the Plaza from the City of Espanola. We are requesting the following for Saturday, December 9th, 2023. Use of the Plaza de Espanola and the Misión Convento and the Hunter Building. That the City of Espanola Police Department coordinate the safety patrols during the events. 4 porta potties, fire burners on the plaza, the ability to apply for lodger's tax if available, the mayor and council at the official tree lighting. The Downtown Action Team will provide the following: insurance in the amount of $1 million, all permits necessary from the Department of Transportation, road blockage from Southwest Safety, all advertising for the events. The City of Espanola will be included as co-sponsor of all events. The Downtown Action Team of Espanola appreciates a long-standing partnership with the City of Espanola in this event.
Motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Peggy Sue Martinez, second by Councilor Aaron Salazar. We're gonna yield the floor to Mr. Smith.
Thank you. Just one thing I do want to add to their list of requests is the trash receptacles. Now we need to bring in larger receptacles that the city has. We just bring them, they're used, and we haul them away. So it's no additional cost other than the hours for the person to come and bring those. So I just want to add that to the list of requests.
Mr. Smith, the great thing about this event, it's cold. People don't stay around that long. So there's not a whole lot of garbage along the roadways. There is.
Sure.
But yeah, usually there's people come and go because they don't stay
Yeah.
long.
I've said before, Mayor, this is one of the best events that happens in this community. You guys have done an incredible job bringing it back every single year. It doesn't get old. Seeing those floats is, I don't know if anybody has had an opportunity to work on one. I know Counselor Nanette has, and I don't know if anybody else on the council has, but it's no small feat to keep lights on a float.
No, it's not.
It is no small feat. I mean, anything can go wrong at any given time and you can burn out or you can have a section go down or whatever. So the fact that they still come lit when they come across through the Misión Convento is a miracle in itself. But what you guys are doing for this community is economic development. It's putting Española in a positive light in every single way. It's providing something really positive for the constituency to do, and it starts off the holiday season here in Española in a really, really traditional and incredible way. And the value of that is just incredible. And it comes back to the city in terms of how people attend and what they do. I mean, people that come into town, I'm sure stop for something to eat, stop for gasoline, all of those things. I'm interested in knowing how much you think that is worth to this community in terms of what it does for one day. I'd also like to see the city of Española invest in some kind of light show on the convento that lasts more than one night. I would like to see an electrical engineer along with a music person put something together on the convento and have it go off every night at 8 o'clock for like maybe 30 days and see what that does and see if that drives economics here in Española. It's very important to think outside the box and do whatever we can to bring people to our downtown area. You guys are, both of you, Pedro and Councilor Pedro Valdez and Commissioner Tini Bustos, both of you have the heart of the city of Española. You guys never cease to amaze me in the fact that you're just willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that things get done in Española. I love your heart and I love the passion that you have for our community, and thank you so much. And don't ever, ever stop doing that, Tini Bustos, ever.
Getting old.
Okay.
One question, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to ask, so far our theme for this year is Christmas, past, present, and future. But I was thinking maybe we should change it to Moosemas.
Marty the Moose.
Or something like that.
Holy
We
shit.
used to like this area.
Marty Moose.
Okay, well,
Think about that.
we'll have to do something to honor that guy.
Make him the Grand Marshal.
Yeah.
At the Sony building, we do have an empty slab. We could put a statue.
Don't even go there.
So, Tini, thank you for all the work that you do, and Pedro and the Downtown Action Team. You guys have been doing this. This is the 25th year of the Light Parade.
27.
Oh, so the letter was wrong. 27th year. So we're very grateful for all the work that you do in our community and the economic growth that happens from this. This is the largest light parade in the state of New Mexico. It comes out in the New Mexico magazine. This is an accomplishment and a feat that here in Española, you have 50,000 people come from across the state of New Mexico to our beautiful valley. And so the economic impact is just astounding. We're so grateful for the work that you guys put out for this community. And so thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Tini. Thank you, Linda, Luana, all your team from Downtown Action Team that works so hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we'll be putting in a float again. The city put in a float last year. We won first place, and we'll be putting in a float again this year.
You have a vote on, you'll have a motion on the.
Okay, there's a motion and a second on the floor. Okay, Teeny. All right, Teeny. Motion and a second. Ms. Garcia, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Peggy Sue Martinez.
Absolutely in favor.
Counselors Nanette D. Rodriguez.
For the motion.
Denise D. Benavides.
In favor.
Manuel J. Martinez.
In favor?
Dennis Tim Salazar.
For the motion.
Aaron J. Salazar.
In favor.
Justin Salazar Torres,
In favor.
motion carries.
Thank
And
you.
Just before we leave, I'd like to say that if we could if you could have the Downtown Action team participate on Main Street. We did it for 5 years. We didn't get a manager to run Main Street. And we had a lot of things to do in Main Street in Paseo de Oñate.
15 years, not
15 years. And we could help out. At one time, we had the banks participate by not charging, that they could borrow money from the banks and not pay interest on that money. So this could be done here in the businesses that are around. The other one is that on the trees that were taken off from up here for Espanola, we'd like to donate the red paint for the rocks. Downtown Action Team will do that.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah, volunteers. Yeah.
Going to do that.
Thank you again, Councilor, Mayor and Councilors.
Thank you. Right, 2023-9, rezoning of land. Garen Fulgens, applicant, is seeking approval. Well, this is an approval of the Planning Commission's recommendation to change an existing B2 zoned parcel to an R6 zone at 610 South Riverside Drive, UPC 1047-119-278-500. Miss Rebecca Sewell.
Thank you, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council. Mr. Fulgenzi is here tonight to answer any questions that you may have. So just to give you some background, I'll drone on with my staff report here in a minute. He has already gone through the Planning Commission for a preliminary plat approval that has been approved for his 6-lot subdivision. And he also has gone through the Planning Commission in regards to the a variance for a fence that was also approved, or a wall rather. And he has also been through Planning Commission for this rezoning for this property. So
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Counselor Justin Salazar Torres. Yeah, Leah, let's yeah.
okay.
Let the record reflect. We do have a motion in a second, but let's finish the presentation.
Sure. So Debbie, if you can, if you want to just pull up 66, page 66 on the packet material. Sorry, it's pretty far.
Almost
It's
there.
a lot of content. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
And I just wanted to pull this up on the screen. So this is the parcel of land that we're looking at today. The front part of the parcel, you can see with the residential structure with the riverside frontage. That's going to stay zone B2. The entire parcel is currently zoned B2. And if you want to scroll down a little bit, Debbie. And the rest of the lots going all the way back to Middle San Pedro would be R6. So that was unanimously recommended by the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Well, I have a question, Rebecca.
Yeah, absolutely.
How is this not in conflict with spot zoning?
So I have a, let me pull it up. I have the legal definition on my laptop.
Because we've ran into this problem in the past with Middle Road and about the 100-foot back regarding the whole B2 zoning from back in 78 when they zoned that whole corridor.
Right.
And so this has come up many times. And one of the things, and that's why we're gonna need to revise the code,
Right.
is Middle San Pedro is a big problem area.
Right.
specifically. So my concern here is walking back into this situation because it's happened and come before this council in the last 5 years. It's come before this council 3 times about rezoning a property in that corridor from commercial back to residential. So I really want to know how come this one is different.
Sure. So let me start by just reading what is outlined in section 108 definitions of the city code. So we define in our code spot zoning as the rezoning of a lot or parcel of land for use incompatible with surrounding uses and not for the purpose or effect of furthering the comprehensive plan. In the packet that you've all been distributed, I've outlined the compatibility with the comprehensive plan. So that's going to be, let's see here, page 52 of the packet. Okay, and if you just want to stop there, actually, could you scroll up? Yeah, just a little bit.
That's the comp plan.
Yeah. It's so the end of that was, so I'll read it again. Rezoning of a lot or parcel of land for use incompatible with surrounding uses or not for the purpose or effect of furthering the comprehensive plan. And if you want to scroll up, it's just a little bit. Yeah, that highlighted text. A major component of the comprehensive plan work has been to more fully understand the quality of existing housing stock within the city. So if you want to take a look at the map, this area exists in a challenged area. You want to keep scrolling down. For or challenge will require increased code enforcement efforts as well as proactive efforts by the city to supply low and no interest loans to begin neighborhood revitalization. And then we also have some text here. This is page 26 of the comprehensive plan, page 55 of the packet. While many of the tables are unsurprising, a few stand out for the city that are worth giving some attention. In particular, 38% of the 4,500 housing units in the city of Española are mobile homes and subject to early obsolescence without significant levels of maintenance or investments. So these are highlighted parts of the text because a lot of the themes of the comprehensive plan are based on infill of housing. So my position in the field of planning is that it supports the themes of the comprehensive plan because they are outlined to explicitly promote the housing growth within the city. Yeah, absolutely.
So on the lots, could you go back to the lot map, please?
That's page 55.
And can you pull up the zoning map for that area too? On the computer? After you go to this page.
I'm going to 55.
So, let's see.
To the lots, please.
Oh, 66 is the lots.
So my question is, the very first lot on Riverside Drive, it's not going to be commercial anymore, correct?
So that will remain commercial. So
That one will remain commercial.
yeah, so it is part on the same survey plat because it was formerly all of the same parcel. It was subdivided in March, separating the Riverside frontage property from from the back half of the property, that the 1.58 acres that are being subdivided to 11,000 square foot
So
lots.
That was my main concern, that we were gonna lose that commercial property, but without that being lost as a commercial property and the rest of it being residential, I really feel like this, that the development is a higher end development,
Mhm.
but at the same time, Espanola is at a shortage for housing in every way, shape or form, whether it's mobile home or not. It's just at a shortage for housing. So I think it's a responsible thing to do to try and bring as many houses as possible to Espanola. I would encourage the developer to think about developing houses that are a little lower and more affordable to a person or persons that are working at the lab or for the state. I know for a fact that Arboleda sold out in a matter of months. Any house that goes on the market in Espanola, there's bidding wars for when they're in nicer neighborhoods. It gets a little bit competitive with that. So that tells me that there's definitely an opportunity for growth and for development here in our community. I thank you for your interest in Espanola. I thank you for what you're trying to do here. And I think it's important that we support any kind of housing, and
Zoning map on the website.
also, I think it's important that we as a council look to offering development perks to developers that want to come in terms of infrastructure, in terms of making it developer friendlier. I hope that's part of that new comprehensive deal that we get from the work that you guys will be putting together. I think it's overdue. I really, really want this council to focus on new housing development in Espanola. I think there's plots of property throughout this community that can be utilized for these types of development. And I just think that it's something that this community needs so very badly. So thank you so much for your work. Thank you for everything that you've put into this. Thank you to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Your recommendation is to go forward with this development.
That is my recommendation.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Mayor, do you want me to help pull it up? Okay.
What are the GIS addresses? So that's the property in question. See how that whole corridor is zoned commercial? That it goes significantly far. Look at that.
Been different commercial zoning in Espanola that was intended for commercial for years and years and years. And I'll give you the example as the street that we worked on with the gentleman that landed up breaking the door over here. There's no way that that will ever get used as commercial. There's no way. It doesn't fit what a commercial, what the needs of a commercial site would be. The road is too narrow. There's already stick-built homes in the area, all of these things. And these things were adopted more than 50 years ago as a commercial site. Actually, the vision was never followed through in the city. So when things don't pan out like that, we have to be willing to change things so that the usage can fit the need of today. And I believe right now that leaving that front part commercial is important, but I also believe that residential new homes are very needed in Espanola.
Mayor Pro Tem, if I may, so just to bring the audience's attention to that green boundary, on the map, going through Middle San Pedro. The southeast part of that is Rio Arriba County. So that is County Rural Agricultural District. So that doesn't differentiate between residential and agricultural. So that predominantly serves as a residential use. So that's all I had to say.
I'd like to call for the question.
Counselor Dennis Tim Salazar.
Yes, I just have one question. Rebecca,
Yeah,
was the
absolutely.
city attorney involved in this process at all? And if so, what did he say or what were his recommendations?
So, Mr. Charles Rennick, the city attorney, he has been involved in this process, in different elements of it. He didn't articulate what his motion would be, because that falls under the powers of the planning commission.
He's online. Mr. Rennick.
Hello, Mayor.
Okay, there he is.
Mayor,
Yes. go ahead.
I'm here.
Okay. Can you follow up to Counselor Dennis Tim Salazar's question?
I did not hear the question.
The question was, what is your opinion regarding this? And the main concern I think is being brought up is the spot zoning situation, because this has come up multiple times in this corridor.
That is correct. Yeah, what the mayor did state regarding spot zoning.
Counselor Salazar, this came up at the P and Z level and was discussed there. It could be viewed as spot zoning. I don't think it is, but it could be. So it could be challenged that way. The problem here, and also the solution, I think, is that the commercial zoning that exists itself is not consistent with the comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan calls for that area to be a mixed use zoning, an MPUD type of zoning. Comprehensive plans are adopted and the codes then have to be either adopted or revised to comply with the plan. That never happened here. This plan was adopted several years ago. My understanding is that it was somewhat arbitrarily determined that all of those properties fronting on that side of the south side of Riverside Drive would be zoned B2 on some arbitrary amount of 200 or 300 feet or 600 feet or whatever it is. But as Ms. Sewall has pointed out, and as the Planning Commission looked at considerably, it's just not suitable for commercial zoning. As I think it was the Mayor Pro Tem said a moment ago, this property will never be used for commercial purposes. It's only ever been used for agricultural purposes, and that's what lies to the south of it. The corridor needs to be re-examined in light of the comprehensive plan. And that is something that will take time and a lot of hearings. But in the meantime, to get back to what this is spot zoning, in the somewhat strict sense of taking one parcel and rezoning it, you could argue that it is. On the other hand, it is a step towards compliance with what the comprehensive plan says. And I think that's why the Planning Commission felt that it was a valid type of rezoning in this case. And I concur with that. I'm not saying that I say it's a good zoning or bad, but I think that it does comply.
Thank you, Mr. Rennick. Mayor, may I follow up?
Sir Dennis Tim.
Thank you, sir. So yeah, in regards to the comments, of course, by our city attorney and just observation, it does appear that our Planning and Zoning Commission spent a lot of time on this, reviewing and everything like that. And then for it to be unanimous, I do agree. And I think this is something that we should proceed forward and we should approve. Thank you.
Right, there's a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion this evening, Ms. Garcia.
Mayor Pro Tem Peggy Sue Martinez,
In favor.
Councilors Dennis Tim Salazar,
For the motion.
Nanette D. Rodriguez,
For the motion.
Aaron J. Salazar,
In favor?
Manuel J. Martinez,
In favor.
Denise D. Benavides. In favor. Justin Salazar Torres,
Absolutely in favor. We need this in our valley. Thank you.
motion carries.
Thank you.
Item D, discussion approval of resolution 2023-5, development of employment opportunities between the city of Espanola and Northern New Mexico College and other workforce development agencies for the hiring of Espanola Valley citizens and investment in the Espanola Valley by Los Alamos National Laboratories, presented by Jolene Nelson, Community Development Director, and Joanne Salazar, Community Development Commissioner.
Hello again. We have a resolution that we would like to pass. It's gone. Apparently it was since before I came. And so the commissioners wanted to make sure it was sent to the city council. And so basically, I'm just going to read the top of it. And it's a resolution seeking development of employment opportunities between the city of Espanola, Northern New Mexico College, and other workforce development agencies for the hiring of Espanola Valley citizens and investment in the Espanola Valley by Los Alamos National Laboratory. So it's basically just asking for employment involvement with the city of Espanola, Northern New Mexico, and Llano. And I'd like to introduce Joanne Salazar, who is the Espanola City Economic Commission Chair, and Matt Baca, who is General Counsel for Northern New Mexico College. So I'm going to turn the time over to Joanne.
Thank you. Thank you. Mayor Vihil, honorable councilors, and City Manager Lujan. For the record, I'm Joanne Salazar, Chair of the Espanola Economic Development Commission, otherwise known as the ECDC, not to be confused with ACDC, because we are not that well known. I want to thank the city manager for meeting with our subcommittee and suggesting additional language on the proposed ordinance, which we will present to the governing body in the near future. This is a different discussion, but I did want to recognize that and thank you. I am happy to present this resolution, which is the culmination of work between myself, Vice Chair Floyd Archuleta, Commissioner Toby Vihil, and the full commission. Working collectively with President Hector Balderas from Northern New Mexico College and Llano management teams, this resolution is brought forward to the governing body for consideration and approval in order to begin the necessary dialogue with these collaborators that can result in economic development for the city. In addition, the Government Relations Office with Llano has advised the commission that they are fine with this resolution and that the city may want to look into what they call the mentor protege program to think about future collaborative projects. I want to thank Commissioner Toby Vihil for initiating and writing the first draft of this resolution. But because Commissioner Vihil is on business travel and could not be here, he has asked me to read his testimony regarding the resolution. Let me pull that up. He says, greetings, Mayor and City Council. My name is Toby Vihil, and I'm a commissioner on the Espanola Community Development Commission. I wrote the draft of the resolution number 2023-005. And I'm not going to restate, but he has indicated the initial heading, which Director Nelson has read. I cannot attend in person to voice support for this resolution, so I'm offering a written comment for the records. When I was nominated to the commission by Mayor Vihil, I joined the commission in the hope of stimulating collaborations between Llano and Espanola. He states here, Llano needs our help. Llano has a very important mission to support our nation's nuclear security. Llano is focused on this mission and needs workers, housing for workers, office space, warehouse space, space for construction materials, and an on-site and a site rather for off-campus set of buildings. They've been talking about this for quite a while. Lanel has funding for these efforts and wants to invest in the surrounding communities with Espanola Valley as the prime candidate. So I'm going to make this a little shorter, but he does indicate that he believes in a rough guess that if packaged correctly, Espanola could see 15 to 20 million for investment in properties for their space needs and another 2 to 3 million in yearly rental revenue to the owners of these properties. We know we need homes. He's indicating again that Lanel has stated a need in our meetings with them for more homes and for more properties to invest in with these potentially on-site campus, working to further our workforce development and working with the college. I'm just going to go through for sake of time. He's just stressing again that we have met with high-level managers from Lanel. They have visited the city hall at least twice in the past year. And they have expressed again their concerns and their request to work with the city in conjunction with the college. And I have met, I think I stated, I met earlier, our subcommittee met with Hector, President Valderas, and he helped put in some language to the resolution, which we think is important to keep as these entities come together. So to wrap it up and then to ask Mr. Baca to make a few comments, the resolution is really just wanting to start a dialogue with the city. We want to put this forward because there are a lot of opportunities. And Mr. Vigil states in his comments here too, that this may be a lost opportunity. They have been looking for property. They prefer the location of Espanola because of its proximity to Lanel. And if the city does not begin working with them, they may have to start looking for other offsite campus buildings in Rio Rancho or Santa Fe County. And of course, they prefer Espanola as far as we are told, that this could be a very great investment for workforce development, economic development, property use, GRT, warehouse. So having said that, I'm going to ask Mr. Baca, who is representing Hector Valderas here, to discuss or to maybe make some comments about this resolution, which we hope will be approved tonight.
Thank you, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, councilors and commissioner for the opportunity to be here. My name is Matt Baca. I'm general counsel at the college. As the commissioner said, I'm here on behalf of President Valderas. His message is very simple. He's excited about the opportunity to collaborate with the city. He's in full support of this resolution, and the college really does stand ready to be a good partner agency with the city to look in addressing these opportunities. So thank you for the opportunity to be here, and that's our comment.
So moved, Mayor.
Motion made by Councilor Mayor Pro Tem Peggy Sue Martinez, second by Councilor Nanette Rodriguez. I just had a discussion. Of course, it's always important for us to maintain our connection to Los Alamos National Labs, but I think it's really interesting, and please take this back to President Valderas. In 1971, the city of Espanola is the one who put up the money for the land that they bought to put the college and relocate it here in town. It was $50,000 for that parcel of property. That was the city of Espanola's investment to ensure that that facility would be built here in Espanola because we would reap the economic growth of that down the road. So always convey that the city of Espanola has always been a good partner to Northern. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, for your diligence and always knowing the history of what Espanola has done. I love how you pull that stuff out of your hat. Like, I don't know where you know all this stuff from, but it blows me away sometimes. Like I think I know a lot of history.
Nanette's dad was there on the council too.
Wow. I also want to thank Mr. Baca for coming on behalf of Mr. Valderas and all of you for the work that you've done thus far on this. I just see this as something that will bind us again back to the college. It will bind us again back to Lanel. And I really believe that these are relationships that we need to build more trust on, and we need to continue to work in the public's best interest as far as housing. I don't know how many times I can say this. It's a critical factor to what is happening in Espanola. It's the most important issue outside of public safety in this community right now. The housing crunch is very serious, and the more we can do as a governing body to support that, with the help of Lano and with the help of the college and doing whatever we can to make sure that the college sustains itself and does very well in educating our community and our students of this community, knowing that they are providing a quality education to the youth of this community. And hopefully, if we do this correctly, not only will we provide them with the education they need to be successful at the lab, but also the ability to live and work here in our own community. And that's where that's the most critical factor. Having the availability of seeing themselves in neighborhoods where they can flourish and their kids can do well in this community living here. So I look forward to continuing this effort, and definitely I'm interested in seeing this flourish in the future. Thank you all.
Thank you. There's a motion, a second on the floor. Ms. Garcia, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Peggy Sue Martinez.
In favor.
Counselors Aaron J. Salazar,
In favor?
Justin Salazar Torres,
In favor.
Dennis Tim Salazar,
For the motion.
Manuel J. Martinez,
In favor?
Denise D. Benavides,
In favor.
Nanette D. Rodriguez. Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you to the members of the Community Development Commission. Mr. Baca, thank you for joining us this evening. Discussion approval of resolution 2023-28 budget adjustment for increasing revenues and expenditures for the Espanola Police Department Law Enforcement Retention Grant in the amount of $500. And that is correct, folks. Yeah, Sally.
Honorable, excuse me, Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem and City Councilors. This resolution before you is to correct a typographical error and a change in coding at DFA. In January, Governor had announced Law Enforcement Recruitment and Retention Fund. The city received a total of a little over $280,000 to be dispersed in a 3-year period. In the last fiscal year, we received $112,500 and we're scheduled to receive the same this fiscal year. But we realized that there had been a typographic error. When the funding amount was uploaded to DFA, it was entered as $112,000 instead of $112,500. But our other paperwork says $112,500. So we're trying to align those two. Additionally, this fiscal year, the funds are used for law enforcement retention, not the recruit and retention, just the retention. So DFA recoded their entries in their system. So the resolution before you is a request to correct the amount by increasing the revenues and expenditures in the amount of $500 and change the code used to enter that. So we respectfully request the resolution be passed, and we're here to stand for questions.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve, Counselor Justin Salazar Torres, second by Counselor Dennis Tim Salazar. Is there any discussion?
Under discussion very quickly, just thank you guys for catching that error, and thank you for correcting it publicly, and thank you for involving the council in the decision to correct it.
Thank you. There's no further discussion. Ms. Garcia, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Peggy Sue Martinez. Counselors Aaron J. Salazar,
In favor?
Denise D. Benavides,
In favor.
Manuel J. Martinez,
In favor?
Nanette D. Rodriguez,
For the motion.
Justin Salazar Torres,
In favor.
Dennis Tim Salazar.
For the motion.
Motion carries.
Thank you all. The time is 9:39. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.